Okay.
Yes, yay!
Okay, that was the setting I had wrong. See, I've got pictures in my favorites in my phone that are bookmarks for visual instructions. So I consult my instruction book, which is just pictures on my phone of screenshots of stuff I did.
Those are not the pictures I have.
No, that's intelligent, man. I mean,
that's smarty.
That's right, brilliant, mate. That's right, brilliant.
That's not the pictures I have on my phone.
Oh, you shouldn't have those kind of pictures. Incriminating photos.
There's an interesting train of thought. Okay, the pictures they have on their phone. I mean, okay, is it such a terrible thing that I have a few pinups on my telephone? I mean, with my status and everything. I mean, can I still not look?
You can have pinups as long as they're classy. No.
It depends. How big of a frying pan?
No naughty bits.
No, I know. No, see, but I've always been that part that, although the feminine female, you know what, that's all good and fine.
As opposed to the masculine.
You know what?
Female.
I like the mystery of it.
Well, I've seen a couple of those.
I like the mystery of it.
We're like, whoa. Like Nicole Bat, God bless her. God bless her. She was an amazing person. But Nicole Bat, wow. Strong enough for a man. Well, anyway, because
but
I don't look like a man.
So that's where I'm looking at it from that point of view. I mean, I know. Obvious tie into Valentine's Day, which is next Monday, which we got to discuss if we're doing a special for that. I think that would be fun.
Well, I have the perfect item for you, Ivan.
What's that?
The perfect item for Julie. I don't know if you saw this or not. Apparently, Build-A-Bear is doing an After Dark series.
Wow.
That you can build a Build-A-Bear After Dark, a new series of teddy bears designed specifically for adults.
Interesting. Yeah, that's done it.
There's a Chad teddy bear with a lion mane in a silk robe lying on a shag carpet with a single rose and 2 glasses of wine.
Wow.
The intention is clear.
Okay,
There are some other options. Should we go to Build-A-Bear and take a look at what the options are? Shall we?
That is compelling. Yes.
All right, let's. We haven't taken a field. It's been a long time since the show has taken a field trip, a virtual field trip.
Okay, let's make that happen.
All right, hold on a second. We're getting there.
Okay.
Let's go take a look.
Load the website, Ivan.
Okay.
No, I got it. I'm getting there. Let's see.
Because I know Ivan can't do it on his side.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
But I appreciate those that do. I do. Okay, thank you.
You can go on the internets?
Huh?
You can go on the internets on your while you're on the air?
I don't know. I've never attempted it. Let me try. And if I drop out, I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and try this. Maiden voyage, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so far so good.
He's lowering the diving bell into the end of the waters.
Okay, let's see. Let's go to Facebook just for shits and giggles. Okay, and I'm still with you?
The Build-A-Bear site is not making this easy, by the way.
All right, terrific. Yeah, I'm on my Facebook now. Awesome.
That doesn't help us. We need to get to the Build-A-Bear thing.
Well, let me go Build-A-Bear.
Collections. Web, is it a web exclusive? I don't know.
Build.
Occasions. Shop by category. Let's try shopping by category.
Build-A-Bear.
Hold on a second. Let's try this a different way.
Build-A-Bear workshop.
After dark. There we go. Hold on a second.
Okay. Build-A-Bear workshop.
Hold on. Here we go. Got it. All right. I think we got it.
You got it? Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm in the Build-A-Bear Facebook page.
Okay, hold on a second. Back to Build-A-Bear.com. Yeah. You are not being helpful in any way, shape, or form. This is not fun. Okay, this website is not being helpful, Mike. It's like they almost want us to not see their product. I don't get it.
Okay. Here we go. Our Red Roses Bear is back for Valentine's Day and a perfect romantic gift for your special someone. It's guaranteed to get you hugged. Oh, okay. Now we're bordering
on code for something.
Build-A-Erotica. Here we go. We got Build-A-Erotica. Look at this. It's
I beg your pardon?
Red teddy bear, you got the roses, the petals are falling, the pillow. I mean, okay,
it's bad that Ivan's got to it, but I can't find it at all.
So here it is, shop now at HTTPS, /BDDYme, and then BB6, small KC, 0.
Wait, let me write this down.
What was this about Wait. What was this about a BBC?
What?
BBC?
Oh, the new Build-A-Bear BBC, huh?
Okay. We're going there now. Okay, let's see what other things. Oh, here we go.
BBC. I'm like, wait, what?
Okay, new Valentine's Day gift idea in full bloom in the Forever Flower Shop. Oh my gosh, here we go. Shop our online gift shop for our classic bouquet bears. Now available in 4 colors. The perfect way to give that huggable, I can say this, bouquet that lasts
here we go.
forever.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I think I got it. Okay, so there's
Okay, yeah, I mean, I locked down into this other fodder. Sorry.
There's a Roses Red Scented Bear. Is that one of them? And then there's there's the Lion Love You gift set.
Yeah, the Red Roses is the one I just spoke on. The Red Roses.
And then you got an exclusive Red Velvet Sparkle Build-A-Bear. I haven't gone in to look at some of these to see exactly what they do.
Can I play the music on this thing?
No.
I don't. Oh man!
Hold on a second.
I accidentally hit the switch.
All of a sudden, all the pictures. What's funny? All the pictures suddenly are very, very tasteful. Versus the thing that they show everybody with this picture of the freaking lion, this Build-A-Bear lion, on a bearskin rug or something.
Right, where he's wearing like a Hugh Hefner smoking jacket.
Yeah, they got the Red Roses Bear, man. It's like he's laying on his side, like it says. He's with the champagne glass, bubbly on ice, and total seduction played all the way up, right down to the music.
If it's true, it's this is like a $30 item.
I would think.
Yeah, they've got tie-in dogs for the Puppy Bowl.
Do they really? Okay. I don't think that's really what we were.
No, it's the Build-A-Bear After Dark is what you're talking about.
Speaking of people who might need a bunch of Build-A-Bears, so I guess Nick Cannon is on child number 8.
What?
To his defense, he did have twins twice.
I understand.
So okay.
So that's
so that's not his.
So that's 6 kids. That's 6 times he's made babies.
Okay. Well, so apparently he's now.
The man's got a skill. The woman's got a skill.
Wait. Here comes the fun part.
He's got some super sperm.
He has revealed that he has been celibate since September of last year.
Whoa.
He's revealed that his therapist advised him to abstain from sex after he disclosed that he was expecting a baby with model Bree Tias, who I don't know who, recently divorced from Johnny Manziel. Really? Johnny Manziel? Wow. Okay. So apparently, here's the part I kind of laugh about. Maybe you should have considered this before you had the 8 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little
before
late.
You had, I guess if you really want to have an NBA team or something like that.
It's like saying I've destroyed my liver with alcohol. I'm going to give up drinking.
Now that I've destroyed my liver, okay, I'll stop drinking. It's sure.
Yeah, okay.
Is he still on America's Got Talent, or does he get?
No, he's on the Masked Singer.
Masked Singer.
He's the host for The Masked Singer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's that. There's some controversy with that too.
Oh yes, are we talking about the Giuliani thing?
Yeah, so there's a rumor that Giuliani was on the show.
Yeah, he took his mask off, and then one or two of the judges walked off.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm kind of glad that we didn't run with this right away. So the story is that apparently. So Ken Jeong is on the show, and I think you guys are aware, he's a real doctor. And so, he was really upset with this because apparently, look, Giuliani was part of Trump's team where, they kept talking about how COVID wasn't a problem or anything, and obviously Ken Jeong is a real doctor, so he was kind of offended. So he stormed off set, and apparently Robin Thicke is a good friend of his, so he went with him. And then eventually they came back onto the set. Fox is not saying whether this happened or not.
Oh, then it's unsubstantiated rumors. So.
Well, it's
a non-story.
It's unsubstantiated rumors, except it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
But then there's got to be some kind of media on it. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody latching on.
Well, we'll see if once the episode airs, then.
Well, we'll see. What I can tell you that's not unsubstantiated is, so you guys are aware of the Razzies, right?
Yes. The Razzies nominations came out today, I think, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Wait till you hear this.
What's that? What's that, Evan? What happened?
Oh, the Razzies about the Space Jam 2 being the worst.
Well, it's nominated.
Nominated for 4.
Oh no, there's better. Bruce Willis is getting his own category by himself.
At least this year.
What?
He's been in so many shitty movies in 2021.
He's been in so many shitty movies in 2021. Bruce Willis
gave him.
How does this make this right? Okay.
The thing is, I couldn't name one of them. I don't know any of these movies that he was in.
So here's the movies. And I gotta be honest, it's like
celebrating the stream of bad luck. Damn.
No, forget bad luck. I mean, I don't recognize any of these.
Yeah, I don't know any of these.
American Siege, Apex, Cosmic Sin, Deadlock, Fortress, Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Shit, sounds like a B's list, man. Sounds like a bunch of B films.
Maybe they were.
You know who he's turned into? Charles Bronson at the end of his career.
Shit. Yeah, Charles Bronson. There you go. You hit that right on the head, Jeff. Yes, it is like Charles Bronson towards the end of his career.
So apparently, how the mighty have fallen. Bruce Willis went from and look, Bruce is still an icon. Let's just be honest about this. Bruce is still an icon, but man, that guy went from
here.
That guy was the shit.
In the 90s, yeah.
That shit.
Now he is shit. It's like
that's right. He went from this shit to that shit.
It's like wow.
Yeah, LeBron James is up for Razzie for his performance in Space Jam 2.
Oh my gosh, that movie got such a plowing.
That movie. I saw it on HBO Max. I mean, look, it's not great, but
it wasn't capable of living up to its own hype.
Well,
no.
It wasn't as horrible as everybody makes it out to be either. Yeah. Although I will say that LeBron sounds absolutely tone deaf in the movie. I mean, absolutely tone deaf. Where literally it's like, okay. And when I say this, it's like, I don't think it's him. I think it's just bad writing where it's like.
Or bad direction.
Okay. Yeah, bad direction or bad writing where literally it's like, I'm going to be a total jerk and jackass to my son. And this is what my stance is and this is where I'm going to be. And it's like, okay, I know you're not this dumb. I just know. I mean, I've heard you talk before. You're not this dumb. You would never treat your son in this manner. I get it's a movie. But this does not help your narrative in any way, shape, or form about when people go, see, he's not better than Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I will say, there was a great moment in that movie, and I can say it now, I think we can spoil it. So LeBron goes, no, it wasn't LeBron. Bugs goes at halftime and he says, all right, we got somebody to motivate us. We got Michael Jordan. And I'm like, holy shit, did they really get Jordan? And I'm like, and they got the music and they got everything going and they got him silhouetted and everything. And out walks Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I it was the one moment where I was like, really
okay. That was all right.
Well played.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, well played.
Okay. Leave it to the guys that turn my cameras to the head.
That's well played. It's like
Okay, I'll give them that.
No, absolutely. Like I said, and we'll get to other stuff, but apparently the Kitten Bowl has been canceled by the Hallmark Channel, although there's another channel looking to pick it up.
What? The Kitten Bowl has been canceled?
By Hallmark Channel, yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Crisis. Well, at least we have the Puppy Bowl. Because I got to work this weekend, so I won't be able to watch it. I'll have to DVR it.
Yeah, this is. Oh, one more other thing before we get moving. I think I can fix the Pro Bowl.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Well, that was my phone. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that like a trucker or they like toot really loud or fart?
Truckers from Canada are calling Ivan.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, Ivan, that almost hit me a moose there up by Ottawa.
Hey, we got a convoy coming across.
We got a great big convoy.
Hey, we're trucking a bunch of maple syrup, eh? You know.
And my latest chip in hockey sticks is gonna be later.
Yeah. Hey man, my Pamela Anderson pocket quickies are gonna be late. Oh, by the way, I saw the first. Oh man, I saw the first 3 episodes of that. We gotta talk about.
What's this on Amazon?
No, it's
on Hulu. Okay.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we can do this. Fuck it, we're gonna do it right now.
All right.
You know, it's not
fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Okay, we'll do it live. Here's the reason why I'm going to do it. It kind of fits into this segment. So it's pretty good. Lily James is Pam Anderson. So first of all, they have prosthetics for both of them.
Prosthetic boobs and a prosthetic dick.
Yep.
Okay.
So
wait, there's full frontal plastic dick nudity.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, there is.
All right. I'll be back. I gotta go take care of this door thing.
No, Ivan, you can't leave. This is the part you're gonna laugh at.
He's muted. He's out.
Wow, really? This is the part he needed to be here for.
No, well, it's all right. He can come. He can listen. He can listen till later.
Yeah, I guess. But here's the part where I can't wait for him to hear it. So anyway, no, it's pretty good. So Seth Rogen's in it. And he's playing like the handyman guy who steals it, and he's really good in this.
He steals the sex tape.
He actually steals the sex tape, and it's crazy because apparently, now again, this is obviously fictionalized somewhat, but apparently the way he did it was he found like this woolly-looking thing, so that when he went over the fence, he looked like the frickin' sheepdog that they have.
What? He disguised himself as their sheepdog?
Right, he had like this blanket that looked like it would look like kind of like the sheepdog, okay? Because I guess the cameras in that, we're talking mid-90s, so I guess the cameras weren't all that great.
Yeah, they had video surveillance cameras in the 90s.
Right,
yeah.
The videos, right, but they weren't, they aren't what they are today. It's not like they were HD and you could figure out exactly what it is. It was just enough to go, oh, that's got to be the dog, that kind of thing.
Right. So they couldn't incriminate him.
So they really couldn't tell, and so he got just where he needed to get to pull the plug on it, to pull the plug on the thing so he could get in there, and so yeah, he like literally steals like an entire safe, and nobody noticed. He steals the entire safe. I'm trying to think who else is in this. Dice Clay is in it.
Andrew Dice Clay? Whoa.
Yeah, Dice Clay is in this. Sebastian Stan is playing Tommy Lee.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the problem I'm
Winter
having
Soldier.
The problem I'm having with him is I just sit there and I'm like, he's not tall enough to be Tommy Lee.
Well, most people don't know how tall Tommy Lee is.
Because but I just remember him like towering over Pamela Anderson because he's like 6'2". So it's like that's what I remember. Now she's pretty good as Pam, but like apparently she had to get prosthetic boobs to make that work. And I mean they look great. Don't get me wrong.
Or they had to put on like a latex in a suit, sort of like a latex
like
outfit,
that,
right?
Or something like that.
Fit over her real boobs.
Right, I guess so. Okay. And then, like, literally there is a scene where, like, it is kind of funny. There's literally a scene where he, like, practically introduces her to, like, you know, you get the idea. And she's, like, literally, like, falling head over heels, drooling over herself, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like I said, it's kind of funny because it's not that Lily James and what's his name do a bad job, but some of that stuff starts to get a little boring. The stuff that's really pretty good is the stuff with Rogen, and it's pretty good. So here's where I want to get. Now Ivan's back, so now I can talk about this.
All right.
So now I can talk about this because I wasn't gonna. I had to wait till Ivan got back.
Okay,
so
let's thanks for that. Yes.
So I'm watching the second episode. I'm not positive if Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee is supposed to be on X, or he's drunk, or he's high, or he's just basically himself. But literally, Tommy Lee starts talking to his penis. Okay? He starts talking. Wait. No, you're going to laugh. Okay. So he starts talking to his penis about how this is the one. She's the one, okay?
Okay, so it's like a metaphor for his libido.
Right. Wait. Here comes the fun one. The penis responds.
Okay.
What?
So like does like the
we have a full frontal talking phallus.
So is it like Cars where like the balls are the eyes?
Like the slit is really is like literally open like it's talking.
Right. Okay.
Like,
right.
So and I'm just like
somebody must have seen the movie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm like, who? I mean, I'm literally watching this and I'm like, what? No way! Come on!
Oh no! Hell no!
I'm like, oh hell no! The penis talks. You're kidding me. I'm like, what the?
This took VH1's Behind the Music to a whole new level.
Or stooped down to a whole new level.
I like literally am like sitting there and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. No, they really didn't just do that. And
I'm dying.
The best part is, well, that's why I had to wait for you to come back. Because I knew you were going to about die when you heard this. Like, it's not like...
Ivan, don't die.
It's not like a 2-second conversation either. It goes on for a good minute or two.
Oh, my God. It got your attention, man.
So... Did Tommy Lee produce this? I mean,
No, I don't think either one is. Well, no, I
think
he's
responsible. You know,
it's based on a story. So I guess there was somebody who wrote a story in Rolling Stone back in 2014 about how it got stolen and did all the homework and all the stuff and did an article in Rolling Stone about how they got the tape and how it ended up getting out there. And so this is essentially the story of that. Now, my understanding is they tried to reach out to Pamela Anderson. She never responded. She didn't seem to want to be involved with it.
Yeah, can't blame her.
I think they talked to Tommy Lee a little bit about this. I'm not positive, but my understanding is this wasn't something that was done by either of them.
Another bootleg thing gone agog. Wow.
Well, no, I mean, it's a legit thing from Hulu where they're doing a series. And it is interesting, because it's like, it's interesting especially because it's like, we're talking about...
So this is Hulu money. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is Hulu. And
okay,
and so,
right.
And they're releasing it on a weekly basis, so I've only seen 3 episodes. And then eventually there's more episodes in the season, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But in fairness, the two of them are doing a good job with what they're doing.
The actors,
The actors are doing a good job. The actors overall are doing a good job. The irony is the one person who stands out the most is Seth Rogen as the disgruntled guy who supposedly steals the tape. And you missed it, Ivan. What I told Mike was, according to this airing of what they're talking about, so back in the day, in the mid '90s, these security cams were really, really grainy footage and whatnot. So apparently, Tommy Lee and Pam had this giant sheepdog, and so he took like this blanket that looks like a woolly looking thing that looks like a sheepdog thing. So when he hopped over the fence, he used it and put it on and because the security guards aren't looking closely enough, they think it's the dog. And so then he goes over to where the camera is and then disconnects the camera, and then he's able to get in.
Wow!
But the weird part is supposedly the way they. Now, again, this takes liberty. Maybe they weren't there, but
this was a dramatization, yeah.
Right, in the dramatization, he literally walks into the bedroom, and the two of them are passed out, and he gives them the finger, and then walks downstairs and goes and gets the safe, and he basically literally walks out with an entire safe.
Wow.
Like, an entire safe. And here's the amazing part.
Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, it's only been 3 episodes, but it seems like there's enough time that's passed. It's like nobody seems to have noticed the missing safe.
Yeah. Okay.
So the series is based just on the relationship between these two characters.
Well, and how the tape got put together.
Okay.
And how the tape got put out. Yeah, Dice Clay is playing like this mafia loan shark guy in it. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, like I said, the only reason I wanted to bring this up was literally, it's like I will keep watching it, but literally I was like, given where we've been on this segment so far before we get to stuff, I was like, yes, I think now is the time to talk about Tommy Lee's talking penis. Yes, I think this is now the time we talk about that. Because I literally was like. He starts talking to him, and I'm like, all right, fine, this makes sense. Yeah, he's going to talk to... We all talk to our junk at some point or another. But the part where the junk talks back, I'm like, what? How would you like to be the actor with the credited role where I play Tommy?
Yeah, the voice actor, yeah.
Hold on a second. Now I want to know.
Now, let me understand this.
Who is the voice of Tommy Lee's penis? Right.
Now let me understand this. This is on your resume, sir. You were the voice of Tommy Lee's penis?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, interesting. But then again, it's a living,
Right. Just like any prehistoric animal as an appliance on the Flintstones.
Yes.
It's a living.
That's right.
Okay, so he's voiced by a guy by the name of Jason Mantzoukas.
Doesn't ring a bell with me.
It does not ring a bell. Okay.
Does not ring a bell with me. But then don't use my equation. I'm older, so I might have missed it.
Let me see if I Google him, what comes up. Wow,
all right.
Bad. That was bad. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Google Mantzoukas.
Hey.
It's okay.
Okay,
we got our information.
Okay, so he's actually been in quite a bit. He's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The League, which was that sitcom about fantasy football. Apparently he was in Invincible. So yeah, he's done.
So he's done some.
He was in John Wick.
Oh, okay. So he's doing some voice acting, huh?
Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. The Lego Batman movie. Okay, so he's been around.
Okay.
He's been around, done stuff, but apparently now he's Tommy Lee's penis.
I don't know. Would that
you might say his career is just about to grow. It's about to grow.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that's if it doesn't stand erect or just doesn't droop away.
Well, he's played a big range of parts. So
that part's got range.
Yeah. It extends a little bit too. Actually,
doesn't it swell? It also swells. It swells.
Yeah, well, Tommy Lee didn't really have much of a career after all that. Did
after he left Crew, yeah.
Well, not only after that Crew, you would think like after all that he probably should have parlayed that into something, and obviously never didn't want to do porn, but.
Well, there was a lot of it. There was a lot of that going around once the bands kind of hit. All of a sudden, they're not the vogue anymore, and it's like, well, now people only know us for the one thing. And how do you advance from that? After you've been pandered in a box, and the music will always be relatable to that box.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to be associated with anything else once you're branded then? The people there's a tendency where they brand something and then that's all they're ever known for. The typecasting, call it by, whatever other names you can call it, but the results are the same. So,
So Ivan, how was your week?
Mike wants to get off the dick conversation.
No, I think we've said all we need to say. The conversation has gotten limp, so to speak.
Well, like I said.
Yeah, you saw what he did there. You saw. People out there, you heard what he did there. Okay.
The only thing that's interesting is, and I'll leave, and then we can move on, which is there was always talk. There was always talk that Tommy Lee had done another tape earlier that did not get out, which was, everybody forgets, Tommy Lee was, married to Heather Locklear for a bit.
Well, did they have a boy tape that was out there?
There was always talk that there was a tape, there was another tape with him and him really young, with a really young Heather Locklear, and my understanding is the talk was that the only reason it didn't get out was Heather Locklear was smart. And in the divorce, she was like, the tape now.
Yeah.
And made sure that she had the tape, and nobody else got the tape.
All right.
But,
and the lawyer said, you distribute this tape, you're going to get sued.
Yeah. The only other thing that's kind of interesting, and I'll leave it at this, was, it was like, okay, the 80s hair bands just went away immediately, and then we got into the 90s grunge, and bye, see ya.
Yeah, and then Nirvana and the Pearl Jams.
Oh my God! Yep.
I sold my mini disc of the Pearl Jam's first album. I sold it for like $80.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last night I played some of that in my sets, in both my sets. That's a story for you guys.
I thought you did an 80s set.
I did. I dipped into the 90s a little bit, so cause sometimes you gotta throw people a curveball, And so what happened was, I was in this. Where was I? I was playing
Where was I?
And over at Logan Arcade. So the owner of the Lonely Heart played Yes. Then it was just like, man, let me go ahead and let's swap out, this one for Nirvana, only early in his teens, and it's just like, okay, B-side to Come As You Are, and so just like, I play this record, and then this cat walks up to me, and he goes, I have yet to hear anybody play Nirvana in a place like this. I would have never thought in my life I'd hear it. And, it was just like, so taken by the fact that I played Nirvana, and then I walked into the, let me see, Pearl Jam. I did Not For You off of Vitalogy, which that was
Vitalogy.
Really cool. Vitalogy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I always struggled with that title. So I played that. Let me see, did Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. Let's see. So did a number of other little 90s tidbits throughout the course of the night with the 80s stuff, and then on occasion I just went back to the 70s. But as far as far as the music, yeah.
Saw you spinning on Twitch yesterday.
Yeah, was having some real difficulties yesterday, man. Well, the first time I was on Twitch when I was at the arcade, my phone died. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So, and I didn't have any more plugs available at my station to plug it the thing in. So I'm like, oh hell, I'll just pick it up when I get to Kohl's. Got to Kohl's, and then in the first, I think it was like 30 minutes, we had some tech difficulties. But you know something? I have to give it to Carissa. Thank you, girl, for helping your man out over here. Helping me keep things together, and she came to the rescue, and it was just like. And the amazing thing about it was, we didn't drop one record in the whole set while we were working out our problems. It was fabulous. It was fabulous when it works like that. It's really cool. So anyway, yeah. So I did a lot of 80s, and so I did a lot of hair bands. I did a lot of some out and out rock and roll. Some Judas Priest. Then I got into stuff like The Firm and some of the other more exotic 80s. I guess top 10, 20, 40, or 100. So I figured, okay, let's just go with this for a little while. And everybody really liked it. So, yeah, but you know what? Heather Locklear and Tommy Lee, man, yeah, I remember that story going around for that particular thing going on. Nothing came of it. It was a lot of press about it, but nothing ever came of it. So, all right. So yeah, I'm sorry. Did I get lost here?
No, you said you've been spinning on Twitch and in arcades.
Yeah, so and of course the Twitch feed got kind of hosted because we were having audio problems in the club. For some reason, some of the speakers weren't working correctly, and then we were trying to work it out through the course of the night. We got it in the first hour, so after that everything ran smooth. So it was cool. And let's see. Yeah. Then let's see. What else? Just slowly getting things together. Went to the storage first time, since I packed everything in, and I took out some old friends, and I just started listening to some old cassettes that I had produced, and I came across a Sweet Daddy Jive, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then find out that it was something I did in Studio B of WBCR, the one out in Arlington Heights, the 92.5 and 7. So that was cool. Rediscovered that old broadcast, and I was like, that was a lot of fun. And then listening to it on the tape deck, the old tape deck that I had took out of storage, my 74 Panasonic, just regular cassette player.
I miss my old Panasonic boombox.
Oh man, I mean, there's something about Panasonic, man. It's outstanding stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they made good shit, Panasonic.
Yeah, they do. I mean, when they used to say Sony no baloney, that's one thing, but Panasonic, is supersonic because it is.
I need one of those giant ones that you literally need a cart to take with behind you, where it's like
yes.
Oh, a master box. He wants the big
like
boom.
A 5-band equalizer and.
Yeah. They got the EQ, and then of course it plays the double cassette, so that way you can.
No, I don't need double cassettes. I just need it to look like that, and then it plays on MP3s and shit. But it's loud enough that the bass is good enough that it I'll blow out a window or two. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. All right, we're breaking out the 20-ounce magnets on the speakers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make it all the way chill.
I want it so loud where it's like, I know a girl, her name was Sheila. Boom, 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 boom. I like big titties and I got to feel them. Boom, boom. That kind of thing.
Okay, I mean, boom, thud. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. All right, man. When done well.
How come you don't do a 90s set, dude?
Well, okay. Here's the beauty of it. I mean, I guess time the time and situation brings things together. Okay, as I mentioned, my friend Angelo Nieves, who passed away a while back, his sister entrusted me with his beautiful collection. I just dug through some of it just the other week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so interesting. There's some things in there, so I'm going to curate, that part of the archive, plus what stuff I had in another part that finally is coming home, and just bringing everything together. And I want to curate an Angelo Nieves, because he was a DJ, very very forward thinking, and just we were kids together, and he was one of my first true friends, that just kind of dug me for who I was. And so we both, it was funny because we both ended up becoming DJs right around the same time. So, so here it is, I'm looking at his legacy, and I'm just like, dang, you and we like a whole hell of a lot of the same music, man. So yeah.
Hey, would you, out of curiosity, would you say that the boomers killed rock?
Would it be fair to say if the boomers killed rock in that capacity? I would have to say, in more cases, yes than no. Okay.
Right.
Okay. In more cases,
they love their rock, but you get what I'm getting at, right?
Well, no, I know where you're going with, and they had their style of rock that was satisfactory to them. But then when the next style of rock started coming in, it was just like, I don't know, and then yet another generation comes by. But yet now, in these times, you got a lot of what was not being held accountable in those times. Now you're hearing that type of music everywhere.
I guess.
Right?
I don't know. I think about it this way.
Yeah.
So grunge hits in the early 90s.
Right, that's right.
Grunge hits in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And essentially it's the height of it's kind of the height of Gen X culture and fashion is pretty much about let's call it an 8 or about, let's call it 7 to 8 years.
I wouldn't even call it more than that. It was more like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah,
that's
true. I was being nice, but yeah, 5 to 6.
No, I think it was much more. Yeah. Okay. We'll agree. Okay.
Right. No, but the point being is, let's be honest. Madison Avenue didn't know how to. Madison Avenue didn't know how to market to. Everything that they knew about marketing, they couldn't seem to make work with Gen X. And so they essentially skipped a lot of the Gen X stuff and moved straight to the millennials and basically brought in, the NSYNCs, the Britney Spearses, the Christina Aguileras in their teenage years. And essentially, by doing so, don't get me wrong, there are other artists that, it's kind of weird because rap and hip hop didn't get emasculated, but rock did. Rock just disappeared unless you were like a mega band. Like if you were like Korn, or you were like Metallica, or somebody like that, then you were good. But
but then you
and the Foo Fighters were they were on the back burner. They weren't as prominent as they are now. But they were around in the late 90s. Yeah,
there were some bands that were around that seemed to survive and seemed to be okay, like Foo Fighters and Dave Matthews but there were a lot of little rock band groups that sort of were alternative that didn't get anywhere. Off the top of my head, the Good Charlottes or the Sum 41s or the who else?
Let me see, the Babes in Arms. Let's
maybe
see.
the All American Rejects.
Okay. I know. Let's see. Government Mule. No, would that be in that category?
I don't know. It just feels like.
The Government Mule, by the way, is the Government Mule actually is appearing at Riviera as of this taping. So either the tickets are available or will be available as of this broadcast there. So
it just feels like
a lot
part
of
it is
Okay, I think that with the whole changing of what's happened in music, okay, now everybody is agog. Everybody wants to know what the metal is. Everybody wants to know what the hair music is now. Everybody wants to go harder. And it's something when you are playing in a club and the cat comes up to you and starts saying, "Hey, have you got anything heavier?" And then you whip out,
Tommy Lee's fake penis.
Well, no, I would rather whip out Shine by a Collective Soul. That's the one. Okay? I mean, I'll whip that out, and I've never seen a room change a color view like it did when they lived for that 45, and I'm just like, it's like that. See, I mean, I'm not as narrow-minded on music as what people might think I am, but it's the thing is, you have to have a musically open mind. You're not going to love everything.
Yeah, you got to read a room, especially in your line of work.
Yeah, and it's just like you just have to try to just if I engage. If people are engaged at what I'm playing, and if people can feel where it is, the land I prepare for you to come in and just be, your wonderful selves and such, I mean, and so between the thing I did at Logan Arcade, okay, I'm surrounded by pinball machines and such, but that didn't seem to matter much because here it is, I see people, dancing and just having the best time of their lives. I'm watching Love Bloom. I'm watching people, just cheers, and it's a wonderful feeling and everything. My Julia's at my side, sitting off in the bird nest that we got by the stage, and it's great, and then getting to.
Did she have to actually take straw and twigs and surround herself to keep herself warm?
Well, it wouldn't have been a bad idea. It is a bit drafty back there, but
but she didn't have to actually build a nest.
No. That's just
did she ever eat the food and then regurgitate it into your mouth or anything like that?
You had to take it one step. Look at this guy.
I was going to leave it alone entirely, but Mike went where
Okay, you two, you cordial children, you.
Mike opened the door, and I'm like, I'll just walk right through. Sure.
Just kick the other door in. I was kicking.
Okay. Yeah. And that's what we do here on these Quiz of the Round Table. Don't you just love it? Anyway, so I think I pretty much gave enough time to my own little existence. Hey, why don't we go to Jeff? Hey, Jeff, how'd you do?
Well, no, I was going to say to you, so, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of interesting because to me, the only thing I would say is it's interesting because it seems like rock is still popular. It's just, how do I put this? It's it's not, and I understand radio isn't what it used to be, but it's it doesn't get the air. It hasn't had the airplay for about 20 years.
Well, yeah,
with some exceptions, and
right. But it was underground for most of it, okay, because of the fact that and what happens, the music situation always evolves, okay. I mean, you'll have your hair bands, which of course then evolve into the new wave bands. The new wave bands evolving into the punk bands. The punk bands, beginning the new punk, and then later
the glam rock and
the glam rock, and then later on to the grunge, which then the grunge and then
grunge band connected to the
everything kind of, inside of the.
But the weird part is once it got to grunge, it was
They just fell off.
Yeah. There was
it
no
fell straight off. Yeah, it fell straight off because once grunge, like much of the people that have created the grunge sounds and everything were looking to get into other.
And at that same time, like country had turned like adult contemporary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had the jazz, then you had the new jazz, and then you had the quiet storm, you know.
The new jazz. Are we talking about like Yanni jazz? Is that
we're talking like Yanni jazz. Yeah, we're talking like
jazz.
Like NUA, like Kenny G. That's a painful existence there, man. You know, that's music to knock your head in you with. You know, it's like, oh my God.
I mean, there is some good fusion jazz and some of that stuff, but usually it's garbage. But you know, like, you want to listen to something spicy? Listen to Cornell Gunther, his band called Stuff. That's the band's name. Stuff. Enough said. Got 4 or 5 albums out there. Cornell Gunther, guitar player. Check it out. Okay. No, like I said, it's, you know, I always laugh about that stuff because it's like, you know, somewhere like Miles Davis is like rolling over in his grave or like has come back from the dead to beat the snot out of Kenny G. But that's just a theory. You know.
We love the newer generation, like how we wanted Percy Sledge to come back from the dead to kill Michael Bolton.
It's amazing where Michael... Go ahead.
I say, go ahead. You go ahead.
It's amazing how Michael Bolton has suddenly become, like, in on the joke about Michael Bolton. Like, he was on... What was he on? Where they had him on there... And he was like the sidekick, but it was bad. Oh, the new dating game over the summer. He was on it, and he was like the sidekick to, I can't remember who was the main host. It might have been like Zooey Deschanel or something like that. And then, like, as part of the clue, he would have to sing about like the celebrity, but not give it away.
Okay.
It was bad. It was really bad. I mean, it was like.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you know, you're talking about it, and it does jog a memory. I think I might have seen 1, maybe 2 episodes of that.
It's bad.
It was, it was painful,
really
man.
Bad.
It was painful.
I mean, God bless ABC's trying to bring game shows back in the summer, but like some of the stuff that they've brought back is like, that didn't work. That didn't work at all.
You'll be somebody and you'll work in life.
But he's like, I want to say like Bolton's done like some Sandler films and done some cameos, like some humorous cameos to like get his career into like that Mike Tyson sphere of I can do like something quirky because I'm Michael Bolton kind of shit, you know. That kind of thing. I feel like, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's kind of like, what was it? There's this other guy, comedian, trying to think. He's like, he comes out in like a few films. Dang, I can't think of his name. He'll come to me.
Oh, hey, speaking of funny stuff, Mike, because I don't. Do you check how often do you check the Instagram for the podcast?
Not often, no. To be honest.
Okay, because that's why I didn't send them to you, and I don't have a way to send them to you on regular Messenger.
Yeah, I don't have a personal Instagram account.
I keep sending Ivan all this shit that I.
Oh my gosh!
All this real shit, and I think he's gonna die because, like, literally, some of them were so funny. Oh my god! I had to go. You had me chasing down the hall on some of them, man. Oh my god, they were so funny. That Kayla girl is hysterical. I mean, and on a scale of like 1 to 10, she's like a 35 in terms of like gorgeous. But she plays it off like she's the dumbest woman on the planet really, really well. And the best is, it's like, it's all about her expressions and eye expressions and reactions and stuff.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. It's almost like you're watching a live animated cartoon. It's really
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I'll give Mike an example. So they have this guy who does a voiceover, and it's like the guy will be like, "Would you like a full face of vitamins?" And she's like, "Oh, I'd like that. How do I get that?" I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. It was a full face mask of vitamins. It's like, how do I get a full face mask of vitamins? And then she's like looking in the a few moments. They're like a few moments later. She looks in the chat. She's like, oh wait, no, I don't want a full face of full vitamin. I don't need a full face of vitamin mask. No, I don't need that. Mike, I think Mike took a second to figure out that one too.
I think it always is, though.
You know, like I saw one the other day. Like, actually, I haven't kicked out of this too. It's like there's one that's like there's an audio where somebody's talking about how blowjobs are good for you because it's a sausage, 2 nuts, and a protein shot. And I'm like, it's like they start playing it for like they'll play it in like they'll sit there like the wife or the girlfriend will sit there and just start at first they'll laugh about it and then they'll be like, got a point. Yeah, no, it is. Nuts to the protein shot.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man! You know, my man Mike, man, he's been filling up the pages of the Jive Vibe this week, man. Good on you.
But like I said, I mean, it's funny because like some of the stuff is like there's like I think I told you about the one where they literally like they're like, how do you keep Michaela in suspense? How do you do that? You gonna tell me or what? And then I sent you the other one with the blonde brewer thing, right?
Right, yeah.
That woman's got some serious aim. Like, the Bears need to hire that woman.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week, where she threw something at the dude.
Yeah, but now I haven't seen it. Now he can back me up on this. Yeah. Does she not have, like...
She's got the arm, dude. Okay.
Seriously, like, need to hire that.
She would shame Jay Cutler in a minute, okay?
No, seriously.
Seriously, okay?
I mean, I'm like sitting there watching this going, man, every freaking... And it's like you can tell it's not a cut, okay?
No, it's a clean shot. It's a clean shot. It's a clean shot. Every single time. Yeah.
Every single time. Clean shot to the back of the head. I mean, it's like, no matter what she throws, like, damn, somebody, like, ought to sign her, like, to, like, a softball contract or some shit like that. That's impressive.
She knows to throw where the head is going to be, not where it is.
I guess. I mean,
so, when some people can figure out geometry that quick in order to make that split-second decision, that's amazing. Okay,
like I said. But yeah, I've been killing Ivan. I've been killing with Ivan with all these ID stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes, you guys.
There's one I saw. There's one I saw that was absolutely hysterical the other day. I'm dying. I found it and I posted it on my Facebook. It was that funny. It was this. She's like, I bet my daughter that she couldn't find life on Mars. She pulls out a Mars bar and then pulls out like a small cup of life cereal and puts it on top of it.
Okay.
And she's like, and the next comment is like, that little shit. Like I said, that's why I laugh in some regards. It's like, man, the real comedy is like, I don't know.
Okay.
There's some talented people out there right now doing all kinds of
I refuse.
Unfortunately, they're all making TikTok videos.
Yeah. And some of them are making a fortune doing it.
Maybe we need to get Ivan on TikTok.
You know what? Probably two.
Figure out how to get Ivan on TikTok and monetize that.
There we go.
Get Ivan to do Ivan does dumb things. I mean, I right off the bat, you know.
Okay.
Like if we'd had TikTok and he had eaten the piping ridiculously hot donut that time. He'd have probably gone viral. Yeah, the spicy donut.
Jalapeno donut, yeah.
He'd have probably gone viral. So.
We got to do it.
Yeah. So Mike, I know Ivan tossed it to me, but I got a bunch of stuff, so I figured I'd go to Mike first.
Okay, Mike, you take it away.
What you been up to? What you been doing?
Well, I had a weekend off, but just personal family shit, so not been very active. Did have a game night Saturday night. We played this zombie board game called Last Night on Earth, and it was pretty cool. Not bad. It was from the same company that made this other card game called Touch of Evil, and it's not. There's no card art. It's all photographs of actors and cosplayers as different characters. So Jenny, the farm girl, is same as Lucy, the nurse, on these cards, which just has a charm to it. It makes it different. Yeah. Good on them for instead of sure they could have hired an artist, but instead they paid some actors and just gave them some costumes and said, hey, we need you to be so and so the sheriff's son. Okay, so we can play that. But that was a fun game, and then. They should have had one where it was where they accidentally on purpose had her in the farmer's daughter outfit, but really it's part of the nurse outfit where it's kind of like a wild card or something like that on purpose. Yeah. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah.
That'd be the salesman's daughter.
Yeah, something like that.
Spent 2 hours at AT&T last week getting a new phone.
Oh.
My iPhone, my 7 Plus is it wasn't holding a charge anymore, and I need my phone more because I'm using my phone a lot more for work, and my company comps me $50 a month for my data plan. So, okay,
cool.
So I upgraded my phone, but it took me 2 hours, mostly just to do the sales pitch and to have all my stuff transferred over to the new phone. And then, picking out contracts, and then the place got busy, and the salesman had to help somebody else while I was waiting, just sitting there waiting for my phone to, watching the progress bar. So that was unpleasant, but I got it done. So, did my taxes, so yay. I still owe a little bit to the state, but I got the federal on the way, so yay. What else? Just training bullshit for work. Jeff, I'm sorry, but I couldn't get through the episode 3 Pacemaker. I'm tapping out. I'm done. It's
all right.
It's just that it's gratuitous to the point where okay. We're and it's entertaining in certain ways, but it's just not for me. What else? We'll get into Book of Boba Fett, and we got the Orville teaser. Posted that immediately. That was super cool. So of course they pushed it back to June. So then Seth MacFarlane posted on social media saying, "We're working really hard. We're sorry, and here's a teaser. It's the opening segment and the new opening credits to season 3 of the Orville. I think it's really calling it New Horizons now, where it gets into the war with the machine race, which is the robot dude who's the Data, because this is pretty much a Star Trek ripoff. I mean, they're pretty blatant about it, but now the Orville's coming in June, so yay, that looks awesome. I can't wait. So yeah, that's all I've been doing this week. Did some shoveling, and we had this donut truck coming to town, and you've ever had cinnamon warm cinnamon donuts warm in a paper bag from a food truck, and man, I destroyed a bag the other day. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Goodbye New Year's Day.
Everybody's favorite little dealer.
Yeah, our little dealers, the little suppliers are setting up camp soon. So.
Before I sorry, go ahead, John. But
yeah, so all the weight, I think actually I'd done real good in December. I mean, like, this is like the first time ever I like lost weight between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then Christmas came and like, yeah, I know, just spend the day grazing. And then between now the donut truck and now the Girl Scouts and yeah.
You haven't got a chance.
That's all. I gained it all back. So so try and lose it some more another way.
Yeah, donut trucks outside. Donut trucks outside. Ace being like, "Come here, you fat fucker, let's go."
Oh yeah, like I had there was a family in front of me, and they're like, "Yeah, we're from Barrington." We just like people drive out like half an hour to an hour away just to go to the donut truck, and you can get cider there too. And eat the donuts and cider. They don't even go into the store to shop. They just
oh my God!
They buy the donuts and cider, and then they sit in their cars and eat.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
As long as you've got some vodka to put in the cider, it's all good.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's Sunday morning. Could be make something else or a Bloody Mary or something.
Yeah.
So that's all for me.
Okay, before we jump to Jeff's, let me mind if I interlude just for a moment. My fabulous Ivan's in trouble with his finger award for traveling through Netflix and getting hooked up with Disenchanted.
And what's that?
Disenchantment. That's Disenchantment. It's the same people that make Futurama and Family Guy. Have you guys had
Futurama and Family Guy are made by two different people.
Well, he means The Simpsons and Futurama. Yeah, Disenchanted. I had forgotten.
How do you get Family Guy confused with The Simpsons?
It's Ivan.
Yeah. Okay. All right, proceed.
Anyway, yeah. So here's the thing, and of course, going through Netflix, I'm thinking, I ought to have a little something to talk about on the show on Monday. Let me go ahead and check this out. So, I go ahead and I get nipped. I come back in. I get to the Netflix. I'm just like, this looks kind of cool. It looks like looks like The Simpsons, but it's kind of like the Knights of the Round Table and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and check this out. So I popped my finger in there and off it went. I got hooked into the first season, and I'm halfway through the second season. 2 days worth of binging before I got here. And I have to say, I'm quite taken by it. I mean, that and like I said, it's not for the kids, okay?
No.
It's got its gratuitous. It's not gratuitous, but it's got nudity. You got the little demon. He's always smoking something. If he's smoking cigs, he's smoking weed, but he's always smoking something. And it's just I have to say it was I love the way it's set up as far as like the scenarios, the art, everything is very engaging, very much what you would see in like Futurama, what you would see in The Simpsons, what you would see in animations of this point. And it was great to look at. The stories were funny. There are some moments where you kind of I don't know if that's going to age real good, but for a lot of it, yeah, I found it very entertaining. So yeah, so there's my little dip on Netflix this week. The diving figure of funniness happening over here on Netflix. We'll see what I come up with next week on that particular. So ta-da!
Has that still been production? They're still making episodes of that?
Yes, they are. They're going into I think there's 3 seasons right now, and I think there's a season 4. I think they greenlit as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I have to say the stories that are within them, and if you really pay attention, the humor is very fast and furious. Blink and you'll miss it, but if you listen to it head on, it's really very funny. So, and you get lost in it after a while. So yeah. Princess Bean, and of course the princess who goes and lives the life of, you know what? I have a brother who is half lizard, who is heir to the throne, and I got my father.
Ivan, we lost Ivan. Or did I lose me? I lost me. Okay, hold on. Need to go back in. Hello, yeah. I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm back.
Okay, you okay? What happened? You had
I got kicked out. I got booted from the room for some reason.
Oh.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Who farted? I don't know.
He was melted delted.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my little nibble in the corner of my time on Netflix.
Okay.
Usually I don't always get one in, but you know.
No, that's good. You watched more TV than I did.
Yeah, in the last 2 days.
Yeah, and my coworker's like, "You watching 1883?" I'm like, I haven't watched past episode 1. I really do. Oh, and they did Greenlight episode season 5.
Yep.
But that won't be. We won't get episodes of that till to the end of the year at best. So.
Okay.
Of Yellowstone, but 1883 is like, I'll get around to it. I'm not in a hurry. No. Then I've dropped Prodigy. I was watching Star Trek Prodigy for a while, and I think they're up to close to season finale. Now I do want to get back to that. So there's television that's to be watched, but I'm not feeling it right now. But okay.
No, I understand.
Yeah. Well, okay. What's up with you, Jeff?
So let's see. So while Ivan was watching that on Netflix, I got stuck with watching something with my mom on Netflix called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
That's a pretty long title.
Wow, was it a short story?
Long title, short story, yeah.
So it's 8 half-hour-ish episodes. It's starring Kristen Bell and from Veronica Mars and Heroes
and the voice of Anna.
And what's that one popular
The Good Place.
Yes.
With
that's the one.
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. Yeah. But that I still haven't watched, but I need to. So anyway, she's in it. And apparently, the best way I can describe this is Netflix has decided that they're going to make Lifetime shows and movies, okay, only with more budget, bigger names, and just a little bit better versions of them, if you understand what I mean. Because, I'm noticing, that they seem to be making some of these things. And I will tell you now, this is one of those shows that, if it wasn't for the fact that I was watching it with my mom, I will tell you now, I would have Mystery Science 3000 this time. So let's start with, the wife, this woman who's estranged from her husband or divorced, and is depressed because her daughter died, and wait till you hear how her daughter died, and literally I'm like, what the fuck? So she's drinking wine, it's we drink bottles of water. I mean,
wow.
To give you perspective, she's got a glass bowl in the middle of her kitchen table, and it has corks in it, and the corks are overflowing out of the bowl, and it's a large bowl. And
wow.
on top of it, she's taken like drugs that she's been prescribed to take while she's doing it. So she essentially she thinks she witnesses a murder, but nobody seems to believe her. And then she decides, I didn't hallucinate this. I'm not making this up. So I'm going to look into it. And let's just say there's a bunch of things that happen that literally I'm just like, where is your phone to take pictures so they don't think you're a dumbass. I mean, like, there's literally, like, if you could, like, okay, so she tails the person, and she's, like, watching the person, and she walks down the alley to go see what he's doing, and it's like, why did you walk down the alley? Why didn't you just wait to see what he was up to? And, of course, she makes a noise. And then magically he gets caught. It's like, I mean, it's just the whole way. And then we find out how the daughter died. So apparently her ex-husband works for the FBI and is a profiler of serial killers. Now wait, here comes the fun. Because literally when I heard this, I'm like, really? No one is gonna... Okay, I just gotta say it. So apparently, it's take your daughter to work day.
Oh.
And he's gonna take her to work with him. And she's literally in the room with a serial killer when he's about to talk to the serial killer.
Oh,
okay. Wait, it gets better. And then the woman comes into the room while the guy is like doesn't have any cuffs or any like or is kind of mobile and is like, oh hey, we need to talk to you for a second in the other room. Well, apparently the door to the room where she's in with the maniac serial killer closes and they can't get it open.
Oh my goodness.
And apparently he eats her.
What? Oh my God.
What?
Well, let's go back to before the eat part. Let's go to the part where it's like, let me see if I've got this.
Before that part.
Right. Let's go back to before that part. Let's go to the part where I sit there and go. At what point, if you're okay, fine, you're taking your daughter with you to work. At what point did you think it was smart for you to take her into an interrogation room with a damn serial killer? She's 8 years old.
Wow, this show sounds so dumb.
Now I will say, I can't remember what episode it is. There's an episode where there's a part of the plot that happens, and there's a guy, and the next thing you know, Kristen Bell is having sex with this guy. And when I say having sex with this guy, like, it's like Bridgerton level sex. Like, you don't see, like, full frontal, or you don't see, like, anything like that, but it's pretty graphic.
Was it just like a silhouette? Like on the...
No. Like, literally, you see them, like, doing it on stairs. Like, doing it on the kitchen table. I mean, it's, like, pretty graphic. Like,
do you see your boobs?
No.
Oh.
I mean, you see, I don't know how, it's like the porn companies that do it where you, like, they tastefully put shit so you can't see
like the
shit.
softcore shit?
Yeah. Except, the amusing part is, this is more hardcore than that. I mean, literally, it's like, wow, holy shit, okay. I mean, like, they're really going at it. And it's like, I'm like, wow. I mean,
well, it's too bad that we don't.
Let me say this. You see enough of Kristen Bell that it's like, I'd watch it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then, because I think neither of you guys are going to watch it. So
I might watch a couple minutes of it.
So they're twisting around about who exactly did this or whatnot. And it's like, there was one possibility that I sat there and I'm like, they would never go here, would they? I mean, they would never do that. I mean, I thought there was a possibility, but it's like, oh shit, really? That's where you went?
They went there.
This? And I feel like I can say this because neither one of you are going to watch it. So, the woman who she sees dies is the girlfriend of this guy who lives across the street. Okay?
Okay.
And apparently, the person who killed them was like, I can't remember if she's 8 or 10, but the 10-year-old girl. The little girl basically has killed everybody. And she walks into the house, and then she's killed, like, a bunch of other people. And then literally there's a scene where, like, literally Kristen Bell can't fight off like a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, literally, like, the 10-year-old is, like, kicking her ass.
Mm.
And I'm like, really? I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, once you're injured, I guess that's possible.
Sounds terrible.
But oh no. I mean, I'm watching this thing and I'm like, again, I'm watching it because Mom wants to watch this, and it's like.
And you're watching this with your mother? Oh my God.
She wanted to watch this. Well, this is Mike. This is typical shit you see on Lifetime. This is how it goes, except it's a little bit higher on the.
A little more milquetoast.
Like I said, it's a beefed up version of Lifetime movies. Okay, except this is it's better. It's a way more premium version of a Lifetime movie, or something along those lines. And it wasn't even a movie; it's a series. And the best part is, in the end, she's going to visit a friend of hers in New York, and then she's on a flight, and there's a woman who sits down next to her, and then the woman goes, and like everything, like time passes, things are good. She's back with the husband. You know, they have a new child, all this stuff. She's going to visit this friend of hers in New York. She's on the plane. Some woman sits down next to her where she's sitting. And then she goes to go to the bathroom, and she opens the bathroom, and the woman's dead. And then she goes to explain that the woman's dead, and everybody says nobody. And then, of course, magically, that woman's not there. But then she finds something that proves that she had to be there. And it's like, really? You're going to do this again for a season 2? You're kidding me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, honestly.
Oh, boy.
Like I said, I watched it on level of amusement where literally it's like, take a picture with your phone?
Yeah, that's the thing with murder mysteries and horror films. Like, having cell phones kind of takes away from that.
Well, it's like, I mean, some of the things where it's just like, okay, there's a level of where it's like, okay, fine, she didn't do this, she didn't do that, she wasn't thinking about it. But there comes to a point where she's at the level of paranoia and needs proof. It's not like she doesn't know that she has a phone. It's not like she doesn't have a phone. It's just magically at no point in time does it come into her
Well, when
brain.
you're on a plane, you have to have your.
No, I'm talking before that. I'm talking about the entire series.
Oh, okay.
But literally at no point does she sit there and go, I should take a picture.
Maybe her plane doesn't permit for it.
But not just, but this is events that take place not when she's on a plane.
Right. No, I'm not talking about on the plane. I'm talking about like the entire series, like literally, like little silly common sense things where it's like, if you were in this situation or this scenario, you'd be like, okay, but like one circumstance after a while you're like, okay, fine. Another circumstance, sure, okay. But after a while you'd be like, I should probably start like documenting shit and taking pictures and, you know, covering my ass a little bit here. And at no point does she do that. Not one. Not one. Not once. Not at all. And it's like, okay, I guess. Oh, that's the other thing. Then near the end, the husband. So apparently the therapist is her husband who's been prescribing the drugs, and he's like, oh, I guess I prescribed too heavy of a drug for you, so I'm going to move you to like Zoloft or something like that. And I'm like, really? I mean, like I said, this is one of those things where it's like, it's 4 hours because it's half hours, and there's 8 of them.
Okay.
And all I can say to you is, I literally was like, it's funny. Some people are like, "What'd you think?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you might like it, but I thought it was kind of. I mean, the act. Let me be honest. The acting was good. You know, the people in it were good, but they're all, you know." And certainly they add some suspense factor to it. So it's got a little bit of suspense and a little, I wouldn't call it horror, but it certainly has that thriller feel to it, if you know what I mean. And so there's a part of me where I'm just kind of like, I mean, I'll give them credit for that, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like sitting here and I'm like, okay. Yeah, so there was that. So I caught that over the weekend, and then what else did I catch over the weekend? Obviously, the 3 episodes of the Pam and Tommy Lee thing with the talking penis.
Yeah.
I did watch Peacemaker.
What is this, episode 5 now?
6.
6? Okay.
6, and everybody's astounded by the fact that apparently John Cena can, like, play the piano at, like, a high level, which is impressive. I based on what you said, yeah, you probably wouldn't like the rest of it if you're getting too much to that level of violence. Honestly, I'm not seeing it as that bad, but okay. You know, I don't put it nearly as dark as some of the other DC EU shows, but you know, I maybe it's just because there's enough humor and campiness to it that I don't.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay,
but you know, to me, like I said, we're starting to get to some of the interesting parts of it. It's starting to get interesting. The butterflies are making their move. Apparently, the White Dragon is out, and he's going to try to go kill Peacemaker. And all this is happening at the same time, and Peacemaker is now like the most wanted man in the country, thanks to something that Waller gave her daughter to put in Peacemaker's trailer. And unfortunately, the butterflies found it because I think you've seen the 3rd episode where he's keeping the butterfly.
The mechanical device, like almost looks like a miniature spaceship.
Later on, he actually keeps one of the butterflies.
Oh, okay.
And he's keeping it because he wanted to find out more information, so he was keeping it alive. And so something happens where they come to the trailer, and the glass jar that it's in accidentally breaks, and it goes into one of the cops. And so, like, now the police force in the city are all like butterflies.
Oh, okay.
And it's gonna be pretty ugly. Yeah, but it should be interesting to see where it goes. Like I said, I'm intrigued. I'm enjoying it. Cena is just absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's great in it. I mean, he carries the show. He's capable of. He has a great screen charisma.
Yeah, no, he's really solid in this. And in fairness, the other actors are doing a great job too with what they've been given.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're finally kind of moving into phase 2 towards the plot. There's a part of me where I'm just like, okay, this ought to be interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes. Yeah. Considering what the quote-unquote, we still haven't gotten an understanding of who the big picture villain is, or if there's a bigger picture villain.
Who the mastermind, right?
Right, who that is, or if there is one. We'll see. Again, it's, God bless James Gunn. He either this is something he's made up, which is possible, but James Gunn likes to go on deep cuts, even on stuff like I've seen like that he's done, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, where he'll do some stuff deep cut on purpose. That I have a feeling that this is something that we all might think that we know, we might all recognize later when we go, oh, of course. But right now, I'm like, I don't know who this is. And I don't know what this is. As long as we're talking about DC shows, so apparently the guy who plays Hawk in the Titans is playing Jack Reacher in the new Amazon Reacher show.
All right.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah, he seemed like he was an okay actor.
He's really good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I've never seen the Reacher movies. I've never seen the Jack Reacher movies with Tom Cruise. I've never read the books. I'm impressed with what I'm through 4 episodes. There's a total of 8. It's a high recommend. It's fun, and he's good, and he's doing a great job. And I can't blame him at all about the fact of leaving the Titans show for this, because this is a far better, more impressive vehicle for that guy. And he does a great job, and he's really killing it on that show.
All right.
Literally.
Good.
But
cool.
So there's that. That was good. Also caught something else on Netflix. This is something else Ivan might be interested in. You guys might both find interesting. So there's a new show, and I think it's with Will Arnett, called Murderville. And basically what it is it's half hours, and I can't remember what the first side is. So Will Arnett's playing this detective Seattle, and it's kind of like a murder mystery thing, except each week they bring in a new guest who has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you told me about this. Yeah, and they ad-lib. Yeah.
And they ad-lib.
Yeah.
So the first episode is, I've only gotten through 2 episodes. The first episode is Conan O'Brien, and I'll be honest, I was kind of like, it wasn't very good, and I was surprised because I thought Conan would be more interesting, but I was kind of bored. So the second episode is Marshawn hired running back from the Seattle Seahawks. And Marshawn is a unique character to begin with, and he absolutely nails it, and he's great in this. I mean, he's amazing. Like, literally, like, one of the things he's talking about is, like, one of the things he does in, like, he's like, I want to change my name from Marshawn to, like, Detective Bag-a-Bitch. Because then I could sit there and say, yeah, I bagged that bitch. But I will say, you really have to watch to catch the clues. And I did feel kind of like at the end, like it's like, okay, this is a lot of work for me to pay attention to try to figure out if who did it or who didn't. Like, they give you a couple suspects, and then it's kind of a whodunit kind of clue kind of thing where it's like they have, like, the 3 suspects that are there, and then, you know, Marshawn, like, the guest of the week chooses who they think it is, and then, like, the police chief walks in and goes, what are you doing? And it's like, well, so-and-so has pinned this, is figuring out the murderer, it's this. And they're like, so-and-so, and it's either you're right or wrong. Now, Conan O'Brien was dead right. Marshawn Lynch was dead wrong. And then they explain what happened, you know, and how it works. So it's I think there's another
interesting take on episodic television.
Yeah, there's another 4 episodes. They're half hours. I'll probably check them out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I caught this week. So those are the big things. And then, you know, yesterday was my Clubhouse, well, on Sunday, my Clubhouse anniversary. So I've been on Clubhouse for over about a year now. So, you know, got a little bit of did a little of the victory lap and hung out with some people. You know, and along those lines. And trying to think of anything else that I did in the last week. Oh! I think I did catch a minute of the Pro Bowl, and God, that thing is brutal.
Yeah, NFC, it got their
well, I mean, it just looks like flag football, but I think I figured out what they need to do. I think I figured it out. Does either one of you remember MTV Rock and Jock Basketball at all?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
okay.
I can. Yeah, vaguely. Yeah, I don't
Where
remember.
if you shot it from 3/4 length of the court, it was 75 points or something like that.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of crazy ass rules. I feel like they should turn it into kind of more of that kind of thing, like a video game kind of thing. And then what they really need to do is they need to have you know how a Wheel of Fortune, it's you have your Wheel of Fortune number, and if a certain person wins a certain prize, you get the prize too.
Yeah. They
need to do that for the Pro Bowl.
That would be a great idea. That's a great idea.
Or where it's you could kind of be hey, so-and-so's aren't so-and-so from Seattle. For example, Ivan Rivera from Chicago, Illinois is on the clock right now. If Pat Mahomes does this, he gets this. If Pat Mahomes does that,
who's your at-home player?
Right, that kind of thing.
It's a grand prize game, yeah.
Where it's if Pat Mahomes throws a touchdown, Ivan gets $1,000. If he throws a 5-yard pass, it's $50. You know, if he throws a first down, he gets $100. You know, that kind of crazy.
I remember my friend, my dad's friend, They flew to Vegas to watch the Super Bowl in '86 when the Bears were going. And my dad's friend made a bet with a guy on the plane that the Fridge would score a touchdown at the Super Bowl, and he won. And the dude mailed him like a check.
My biggest mistake. My biggest mistake was I'm working at Sporting News at the time, and the Bears are in the Super Bowl against the Colts. And
I remember.
And so, we have people who are doing live at Mandalay Bay. So they've got like the odds sheets on like all the prop bets and shit. And so we had them up in like just for like jokes, we had them up in like the back of Master Control. And the odds on Devin Hester running one back was 8-1.
Yep.
And I looked at it and I'm like, man, if I had $50 to $100, I should hit this prop bet. Okay? And if I had hit the prop bet, I'd have made about like $800.
First play of the game.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, and wait, here comes the better one.
Okay.
If you had Devin Hester as the first player to score, it was 35-1.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
That'd have been a good payoff.
Yeah. Not kickoff, not kick return, just first player
First
overall.
player to score any points.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have picked that, but I would have gone for the kick return for 8-1. And it was so funny when he did it. I'm like, I was like, right? I was like, son of a.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, like I said, there were guys in Vegas where I could have been like, hey, I'll wire you the money. Just get me the ticket, okay, and get it for me, and we're good. And I could have done it, and I'm like, son of a bitch. It was so funny because people were like, what? Like, I saw the prop bet at 8-1 for Devin Hester, and I'm like, shit, I should have taken it. But yeah, I guess.
So that's what they need to do, I guess, with the Pro Bowl. Let's just spice it up with some wacky news. It's like make it like a pinball game.
Yeah.
Have like flippers in there.
I don't know about flippers.
Make it like American Gladiators or something. I don't know.
Well, it's like, like certain people are like, certain people are like complaining about like it looks like more like a video game. Well, okay, let's
go full video game on it then.
Right, like here's the thing. If it's not entertaining, what can we do to make it entertaining and fun?
Right.
Okay.
Because the players aren't going to stress themselves over it, so they need to add. You need to add a new dynamic.
Well, and the amusing part is the players. Here's the amusing part: if Johnny in Seattle can make $1,000 because if so and so scores a touchdown, they might be a little bit more inclined to do shit. You know what I mean? Because like they get it. They're like, oh shit, it's on me to score. So do this so Johnny can make his money. You know, you get the idea.
Well, then they'd be like, well, then who's to say that then if Johnny might, like get his cut or whatever, there might be some. If the players are aware of their bets or whatever, then there might be some.
It's not like a bet. It'd be like something like they randomly pull a name.
Right.
Like not a bet, like a randomly pull a name. Like, okay, so here's what's got to happen right now, and the name we pulled is so-and-so from Tacoma, Johnny from Tacoma, Washington.
Right, yeah, right.
And if in the next series of downs, so-and-so score, like for example, it could be something as simple as like, if Jonathan Taylor rushes for 3 yards, and the next 4 plays, he wins $1,000. I don't know. I mean, dumbass shit like that. And the best part is, you can probably get companies to sponsor it too. And his winnings are sponsored by like McDonald's, that kind of thing. I mean, let's. I mean, if it's gonna be bad and it's gonna be dumb, let's embrace it.
That's right, exactly. Go full in on it.
Go full in on it. Let's just and make it ridiculously fun. It's like
they got to shake up the Pro Bowl. I think you're right. I agree with this assessment.
Right, because you're not going to get them to play. I mean, look, nobody really wants. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be nice to see them really play hard.
They just want to spend a week in Hawaii, right? Is that what it's about?
No, it's in Vegas.
It's
now.
in Vegas this year. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's even worse.
first at least, here, it's even better. It's like, okay, at least in Hawaii, they might have actually been sober for the game. And they might have actually gotten sleep. Vegas, they're probably out till like dawn.
Yeah, the night. Well, they might have gotten 40 winks before the game that morning.
Yeah, they might have what are you talking about? They might have come from wherever they were at.
Right from the casino, right from the hotel, right.
Yeah, literally, okay, we were at the Mons Venus last night, and or the Palomino Club till closed at 4 a.m. And hey, guess what? Oh, we got to play? Okay, sure. Or we took a trip to the Mustang Ranch, and hey, guess what? Time to go play. Or I was at the tables till 7 a.m. this morning. I don't know. Again, it's
okay.
To me, with Vegas, it's even more amusing because it's okay, now you can get yourself even more trouble than you did in Hawaii. It's okay. So, yeah. All right, so I guess we can get to...
What news have we got? I guess we can get to Boba Fett, though.
Yeah, let's do the Boba Fett thing, and then we can get moving.
All right. This is episode 6, and episode 7 will drop before this episode airs. So, as I said, episode 6, just after last week when some news dropped, I'm like, oh, man, I hope we'll be able to record tonight, and we are. So I'm glad I'm here to discuss episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett, otherwise known as episode 2, season 3 of Mandalorian. It's just proof positive that this episode, this is clearly just episode 2, season 3 of The Mandalorian. I mean, this really does not fit into what we've watched the first 4 episodes.
So, it's really interesting. I've had conversations with other people about this, and I had conversations on Clubhouse, and it's really interesting. You and I look at it this way, and here's what I'm getting back from people. What was good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good Star Wars.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm eating it up. I'm liking it.
Right. And it's or this is a different type of... I'm hearing a lot of pushback from people being I'm enjoying it, stop. It's I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it seems strange that... And people are why are you complaining? I'm I'm not complaining. Okay, apparently you can't sit there and be confused about the fact that apparently The Mandalorian has taken up almost 2 full episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Where Boba Fett was practically non-existent in episode 6. And he wasn't anywhere in episode 5.
Right. But apparently if you say something like that, it's well, we're enjoying it. It's I didn't say I wasn't enjoying it. I'm saying
this is the name of the show.
Right, this is the name of the show.
You expect to see the title character in every episode of the show.
Well, or if you're not going to, that's fine, but there's only 7 episodes.
Until we get a season 2 or whatever, unless season 2 of Book of Boba Fett is going to be actually season 3 The Mandalorian.
Well, right, and that's something that's been talked about too. Is okay, so it's possible that whatever is going on Tatooine is going to basically go right into Mandalorian season 3, and that's what part of this is. And it's they're talking about, they're doing non-linear storytelling, and I'm I don't think that's it. It's I don't think that's it at all. I think, like I said, a couple of people, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm enjoying the heck out of what we're getting. But it's again, you've set up a storyline that seems interesting that I'd like to see. And it seems like you're just, I don't know. I sent you a link to a thread that I read on Twitter where literally they were the book, maybe they were trying to explain that they thought that the Book of Boba Fett essentially meant that the Book of Boba Fett includes anybody who, in some way, shape, or form, has touched or associated to Boba Fett, almost like a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon,
right? Or Pulp Fiction kind of storytelling like that,
right? Or something along those lines, because technically Luke is connected to Boba Fett because Luke knocked Boba Fett into the Sarlacc pit. So Luke makes sense to have it.
So the Return of the Jedi, and the Empire Strikes Back is also Book of Boba Fett.
Right. Well, again, and the point being that all these characters are still connected to Boba Fett. Hence, it's called the Book of Boba Fett, even though we're not seeing Boba Fett. And I'm like,
yeah, true. I mean, if this was called The Mandalorian Season 3 and we had 4 episodes about Boba Fett, we'd be pissed off.
Yeah. That's a really good question. And it's funny because, you know what the funny part is? You know what the funny part is if I broach that to certain people, they'd be like, man, I know what answer I'd get back. Not if it's any good. And it's like, okay, so basically the long and the short of it is, as long as it's good, you don't give a shit. Okay. It's like, but, so then it becomes one of those where it's like, okay, am I living in Bizarro Land or something?
We're getting Star Wars, and it doesn't suck. So I'm
right. I think that's the irony. The irony is it's Star Wars that doesn't suck, but yet it's like you and I have the same issue, which is like it's the Book of Boba Fett, and it's about Boba Fett, and
where's Boba Fett? Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Right.
Where?
Right. Exactly. I mean, literally, like.
We're all like Han Solo right now.
Yeah, seriously, we're all like, no joke. Where it's like, and it's like, okay, it's the part where it's like, I kind of liked what storyline what we were gonna do, what we were gonna go here. Guess we're not going there. All right, I don't know. I mean, it's not to say that I don't know. Again, I feel like it's like we're enjoying it, and we're enjoying what we're getting. It's like.
Yeah.
Okay, but doesn't matter if that's the case. We're enjoying it. Go away.
Yeah. So the episode is more of a continuation of. He got his little Naboo starfighter built, and he flies to the planet where Luke is building a school. And man, when I saw that little radar dish, I'm like, oh yeah! I'm like. I actually got a little teared up when I saw R2-D2.
Okay, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my man.
My man.
Dressed like a bat. I dig it. So R2-D2, and of course we saw Luke, and they've improved the CGI. It's not so in Uncanny Valley. It's that they did better with Luke with the CG, the deep fake or whatever they did. And Grogu's training, and although I don't know why they built a bench for him and then they made him wait. I don't know if like R2 was unable to like traverse the terrain. Now, well, of course, we know that we know that's not the case because he's got his fucking rocket shit from episode 2. Anyway, getting back on topic. So Mando's got to wait to see Grogu. And he's training with Luke, doing some cool Jedi shit.
I will say that R2-D2 is like, sometimes R2-D2 really is a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, okay, get the little things to build a bench.
I'm going to shut off now.
I'm going to shut off. Bye. Thanks for playing. It's like, hey, droid. Drive. Drive.
Hey.
Drive.
Wake up, droid.
Drive.
That's funny.
Hey.
Yeah, this is going to reinstill Mando's hatred for droids now.
Probably.
Now they're not trying to kill my parents. Now they're just ignoring me. Meanwhile, while all this shit's going on this planet that that Luke is training Grogu on, the Pikes they're moving in. Although he's talked to Cobb Vanth in their town called, was it Newtown or Safe Town or whatever it's called? Happy Town?
I think they're calling it Free Town now.
Okay, right? Happy Town. Let's go. Funky Town.
I think it was free. No,
Funky Town.
Funky Town.
That's right. And they're like, yeah, well, we can try and help out, get some, extra hands to help this, get the Pikes off. Oh yeah, there was a pretty cool scene with Cobb Vanth and some Pikes dealing and some trading, like just outside some moisture farm or something. They have a cool little shootout. Nice little Old West kind of thing here. going on with Cobb Vanth. And then, meanwhile, we get some more of that shit on Tatooine because, okay, the Pikes are bad, the Spice is bad and all that. And...
By the way, that's a shitload of spice.
Oh, yeah.
That based on what I know from playing Star Wars RPG and looking at the size and how much spice was in there and the depth of that box.
Yeah. It looked just almost like the regular sand, but it was that was spice.
That's like probably that's probably like 7 figures of spice. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
7 million quatloos.
No.
Or whatever, galactic credits or whatever. Although Imperial credits are no good anymore. So Mando wakes up and guess who's there? It's Ahsoka. Like, yay, it's Ahsoka. Played by Rosario Dawson. And so he offers the gift, and obviously he explains about how, and he remembers about how these attachments are bad for his training. It might cause him to join the dark side and kill a bunch of younglings and choke Natalie Portman again. So we can't have that. So she offers to give the gift to Grogu because even seeing him would set him back too far with his training. So he agrees, and so sad Mando flies away, and Grogu actually sees the little ship, and I'm like, oh no, Grogu, Mando dead. And eventually, we see Luke, a nice little scene with Luke and Ahsoka, and it would have been cool to fill in the gaps, and then again, it'd be all like, time to commune with Obi-Wan. Hey, how come he never told me about this orange chick?
Yeah, well.
She was Anakin's apprentice, and a good side piece.
Yeah, I think the interesting part to me is, again, I think what's interesting about this is going away from that this is technically the Book of Boba Fett. It seems like, based on this episode, they do have a larger story mapped out.
Oh, definitely. And they're setting up for Ahsoka's series, too.
Right, and Ahsoka is part... Well, but the interesting part is because it's possible that an Ahsoka series could have been in the past, especially because you're doing a Ben Kenobi series.
Yep. Okay?
It's possible it could have been in the past, and that could have connected that way. But the only way it's going to connect now is if there's a cameo by her in that to connect to move forward, which I guess is possible. But I do feel like they're trying to create a path of the Star Wars universe from essentially after Return of the Jedi to essentially the next 25 years when we reach Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That essentially they're building that time frame.
Yeah, and although there is a section of the Star Wars fandom that is hoping that Filoni is going to erase the sequel series.
Yeah, I think that's
because. So we'll get back to Luke and Grogu training and about how he helps Grogu remember he was at the Jedi Temple when the troopers stormed and killed the Jedi. He somehow got out of there. We don't know how. Don't matter. And had to train with the remote. We might find out.
It might. Because there's the question, who had him?
Right.
And again, we remember, thinking back to the first episodes of The Mandalorian, he's under lock and key, and he's about to go, in fairness, though, that's a long time if you stop and think about it. So 66, that means that there was the 20 years before Star Wars, so we're talking already.
And then a few years after to get to, like, a couple of years after Return of the Jedi.
Right,
at the
point.
Mando.
So we're talking 25 years.
Yeah. So you're still still very young.
Right.
Even younger now.
Right. So it's interesting because it's like here's what's interesting, because you and I might think, oh, he's young. Like, we thought maybe he was like 5, 6, 7, in the 10-year-old range. Really, he's like 25.
Well, I mean, the first episode, the guy who hires Mando to bring the baby to him, I would like to see the baby. He said he was 50 years old.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Okay.
That was mapped out in episode 1 of Mandalorian.
Okay.
He opens the thing, he opens the cradle, it's like, wait, he said they were 50 years old, and then the IG droid says different species age differently.
Yeah.
So anyway, when we have a little training session with the remote, and which is cute, and but the thing is, there's a joke that if Mando finds out what Baby Yoda's been through this week, then he might pay Luke a visit. He's like, he did what? He wouldn't let you eat the frogs. He's giving you flashbacks from the Jedi Temple, and he's getting you shot at with the remote.
Yeah, well. So here's the question. How long do we think all that was?
Well, maybe about a year.
What? Mando waiting around for him for about a year?
No, maybe like a day. Might have even been, I don't know. We don't know how long days last on this planet. Maybe days are longer.
Well, I mean, because it seems like all this is going on while Mando is waiting.
Yeah.
The way they play it off, it's like that he picks up all this stuff in a very short period of time. And so it's kind of weird because it's like, okay,
so
I don't know.
So sad Mando takes off. Ahsoka gives Luke the gift, and it's the Beskar chainmail that he had made from the armorer from the Beskar spear, and Luke gives Grogu a choice, and between his master's lightsaber, Yoda's old lightsaber, and the Beskar armor. So you can be a Mandalorian founding, or you stay with me. I'll train you to become my first Jedi student. And that's a key phrase, because in the sequel trilogy, I keep saying prequel. In the sequel trilogy, Ben Solo is Luke's first student. So does Grogu take the lightsaber and become Luke's first student, thereby almost maybe retconning the sequel series, the sequel trilogy? Or he'll, take the chainmail and go back to Mando and rejoin them on Tatooine and see the big fight with Boba Fett versus the Pikes and his little groovy gang of multicolored Vespas.
Yeah.
And although this is before episode 7, next week's is gonna. Yeah. I cannot wait for next week. But obviously before we're done, we need to discuss Cad Bane.
I guess. I didn't know who that is. There's another example of what I'm talking about where somebody shows up.
Well, you never watched the Clone Wars? You never watched Bad Batch? You didn't watch any of the animated series?
Right.
Okay.
And it was so funny because people are like, oh, that's this person. I'm like, okay. I guess. And it's funny because everybody's like, oh, you should know that.
That you would not know who he is.
No.
I mean, I never watched the Clone Wars, but I watched the first season of Bad Batch.
Right.
So I knew who he was.
Right. So if you're not watching either, again, this goes back to that part where it's like they had the Black Wookiee.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't know who that is either. And people were like, oh, don't you know who that? No, I don't. No, I'm not reading this, or I'm not paying, or no, I'm not watching this.
No, exactly. 5 seconds after that episode aired, I went on the internet and I found out about the Black Kirstan or whatever his name is, the big Wookiee.
Yeah.
The Goth Wookiee. So Cad Bane shows up, possibly kills Cobb Vanth. We don't know yet.
Yep.
And of course, shoots the deputy full of holes because this before. the deputy is done for. That was a given.
The sheriff, but he also shot the deputy.
Yes, he did. The Cad Bane. One thing I didn't know. The 2 tubes on the sides of Cad Bane. They are there to prevent a Jedi from force choking him.
Okay.
Because Cad Bane, he's prominent in the Clone Wars animated series, and he's a hired Jedi killer.
Okay.
A hired Jedi hunter.
Ooh. Okay.
So he's a total badass, total Dave Filoni character, and he's here to work. He's paid by the Pikes.
What's interesting is he doesn't just say the Pikes. He talks about the Syndicate. Now, the Syndicate is interesting because if you're going to talk about the Syndicate goes all the way back to to Solo, a Star Wars story, because the Crimson Dawn is part of the Syndicate, which opens some doors.
Yeah, that's right, Crimson Dawn. We used to forget about that because we only got that through Solo.
Right, but the point being is, I think there's a lot of people, and it's funny. Who was I reading something from when they were talking about that? Like, somebody was talking about how underrated the Solo movie was. That they really enjoyed it. And they were like, oh, this is kind of underrated. But like I said, I think that's.
We presume he's working for the Pikes Syndicate. We don't know.
Right,
yet.
he's working with the Pikes, and this Pikes may be part of that syndicate.
No.
Maybe. But it's possible that
this other faction has a vested interest in keeping the Pikes on Tatooine and letting their business thrive.
Exactly.
But before that episode ends, though, the Pikes clean house. They blow up Sanctuary, the bar with Jennifer Beals, and they obviously.
What a feeling!
If he's pushing 60, still looks hot.
What a maniac!
Still pretty hot. Still hot. And Cobb Vanth, maybe dead, probably not, because he's a cool character, and we'll see. So episode 7 is I might, because I have to work from 7 to 5 on Wednesday. So do I get up at 5 a.m. and watch it before I go to work to avoid spoilers all day?
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, don't get on Twitter that morning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't get on Twitter that morning at all.
Not a good thing I don't go on Twitter at all.
I'll make sure not to follow Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Although I've heard a rumor about episode 7.
Yes, I have. I have too.
Already.
Rumor.
And it seems like it's the worst kept secret out there.
Yeah.
I'll be impressed if it's not there.
Yeah, but do I wake up at 5 a.m. and hoping that Disney Plus doesn't crash before I can watch it before I go to work, my 10-hour day on Wednesday, before I have to go home and then finally watch it? Because I'm not going to watch it on Disney Plus on my phone at work.
You got a computer at work?
I have a computer at work.
There's a lunch break.
Yeah, these lunch break thingies. Yeah, I could try. So I'm digging it. It's just it's like you order a Whopper and you bite into it. It's a chicken sandwich. It's a good chicken sandwich, but it's not what you ordered.
Well, I mean, here's the irony. I'll take it in a different direction. I ordered a hamburger. I apparently got filet mignon. I didn't order filet mignon, but this is fabulous.
Yeah.
And I agree that it's fabulous. I just didn't order filet mignon. I ordered hamburger, and so that becomes where the problem lies. Is it's like
your expectations for the show are this low?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that the expectations were low. It was more okay. We're gonna do some, okay. He's taking over for Jabba the Hutt. That makes Boba Fett a new crime lord. All right, what's this going to look like? What does it mean for the crime syndicates of the world.
Right.
What does it mean for Boba Fett? I mean, to me, the other part I keep laughing about is like, I understand a few years have gone by since the whole Sarlacc thing. I get it. I'm still kind of laughing about the fact that apparently Boba Fett doesn't know anybody.
Yeah, from all the hires, he has no connections. Maybe he lost all his connections when the Empire fell. Like what Cad Bane says, he worked with the Empire. But he had connections elsewhere, I presume, before he fell into the Sarlacc pit.
Right. I mean, he certainly was working.
He's got some. He might have some favors that are due to him off-world.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing that he talked about. Well, we have money. Well, okay, if you have money, you need to tell me. I mean, I understand that you've been gone for a couple of years, but you need to tell me you have. I mean, we're talking about Boba Fett. I mean, we're not talking about somebody who doesn't have connections. I mean, Boba Fett easily could go hire a mercenary army, probably. I mean, he's got that. I mean, he would know to go get where to. I mean, I guess I'm wrong. I guess Boba Fett would not know how to do that because according to
like I said, the landscape has changed since the Empire fell.
Yeah, but
his connections might not be there anymore.
Not as much underworld stuff. I mean, some of the underworld stuff has changed, but there's still some that it's got to be there, and it's like, come on now. Huh? I don't know. I mean, I laugh because I keep seeing memes out there where Mando's talking to Boba Fett. It's like my show now.
Yeah.
My show.
Right, the show,
my show, not
like the Tom Hanks movie. Look at me. It's my show now.
My show. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's just one of those where it's like I kind of keep scratching my head because it's like, you know, look, you're telling the story. I get it. At the same time, it's like, okay, you're telling this story, and it's a bigger picture story, but I'm confused. Why did you? I mean, you could have called this the Mandalorians or some shit like that, and named it differently, and you'd have been just fine. But I don't know.
Well, maybe there were rewrites. Maybe they had to fix this. I don't know. Oh well. So,
maybe could be.
I suppose. So we'll find out. In a week from today, when we talk again, we'll see where this show is going.
Okay.
Yep. So we do have some news from the week. It was actually a decent news week. So apparently Dakota Johnson is going to play Madam Webb.
Yeah, and she's catching flack for that because she's not actually blind, which is bullshit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, the real flack should be. I mean, I'm just curious. I would love to be a fly on the wall in these conversations that Sony Pictures is having. Because some of the choices that they're making in terms of what characters... I mean, Venom was a no-brainer. I get it. Okay? But since then, they've chose Morbius and now Madam Webb. And I'm kind of like, these are the characters you've decided that are your next movies in your Spider-Man universe movies. Because there's a lot of other choices that I would think make a lot more sense. And they're just not. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I have no knowledge of Madam Webb.
So Madam Webb is kind of like an oracle of sorts.
Okay.
And she does play a big role in that 90s Spider-Man series from Fox.
Is it like magic or cosmic shit?
More, it's more technical and I don't know if I want to call it mental. Like psychic or I can't remember exactly.
Metaphysical?
Well, I mean, I know she's like stuck to the chair and all that other stuff. And it's funny because, like, in the comics, she's old. Like, really old.
Well, Agatha Harkness was old in Marvel, but they gave her a makeover for WandaVision.
Well, apparently they're giving this one a makeover too. Again, like I said, there's some other characters that they would have in their catalog that I'm just kind of like sitting here going, this would be a better movie. I'm not sure why you're choosing some of the people you're choosing. That's all. CW's doing this Batman spinoff we talked about, the one where apparently Batman's dead and his adopted son takes over, and it's like, the only thing I can come up with is, who's either they're making one up, either they're making up a son, or I don't know who they're picking, because Tim Drake, now I'm thinking about it, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, and Dick Grayson are all on the Titans show.
So it's all left as Damien.
He's not adopted.
Nope, he's the bastard son of Talia and Bruce.
Right. He's not. He's the real son. So right away, it automatically sits there and says to me, they're gonna make shit up. Hey, look, if anything, I'm scared crapless that they're gonna sit there and go, hey, we're gonna do it with Dick Grayson. Great, lovely.
Okay, so let's
your shitty
story again.
What?
And rearranging the story yet again.
It's not about rearranging the story. It's just, how do I put this? It's like, this sounds, just the plot alone sounds bad. Just the plot alone, the synopsis sounds bad. About right away, it's Batman's dead, and the adopted son and the kids of his villains are all to blame, and they're all teaming up to figure out what really happened. It's like, this sounds stupid.
Well, okay, it sounds like the period of time where animation studios were presenting junior versions of every conceivable thing. This sounds like it's one more.
It just sounds dumb.
Most of those ideas were pretty, lame too. But they keep recycling it though.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they keep recycling it.
Speaking of things that have, here's the irony: it's not been recycled, but this idea has been out there since the 90s, and I'll be curious to get Mike. No, I'm not talking about this. About the next item.
About that.
So there's another item that is out there, and I think this will be more something that I'll be curious Mike's take on it. Which is, so Paramount Plus has announced that they are in the process of working on a new Star Trek series.
Another one. Nice. Okay.
The irony is, the series they're talking about in development, the truth is, this is a series that has been talked about for development since the 90s. As a matter of fact, this was the series that initially, when UPN started, they were talking about doing this series instead of doing Voyager, and then decided to do Voyager instead. Which is that apparently they're looking to finally do a Starfleet Academy series.
Oh, boy.
Well, I know they've made there's been books written about, like, the young adventures of certain Star Trek characters and their Academy days. Mm-hmm. But this one, okay. If they want to do that, okay.
Well, so here's the thing. Again, I'm just going to be clear about this. This idea has been out there since
for 30 years.
90. For 30 years,
yeah.
They have. Every time it's been brought up, they decide not to do it, and I kind of laugh because, one of the things I keep hearing from hardcore Star Trek fans is about some of the things that have been changed by things that they've done in Discovery and this and that, and it's like, and the response that they keep getting, and you hear it all the time, Mike, is oh, well, we're trying to appeal to a younger audience and bring in more people who might want to watch Star Trek.
Right.
And here's the irony to me on this. You want to bring in more people to watch Star Trek? This Starfleet, great. Starfleet Academy should kind of be like 90210 or Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, they can have like a teen drama kind of thing with that same sci-fi setting.
Right. It should have like a CW feel. Like they should hire CW people like to write this show.
Dawson's Creek in space.
Yeah, well, but would you bring new people to Star Trek?
Maybe. Although I'm a member of a couple of Facebook groups. Hey, I don't want to flex or anything, but I'm seeing young people in their 20s and 30s who are watching TNG and DS9 for the first time, and they're loving it. I'm like, that's cool. Like the older shows can bring you back, and sure, maybe it's an older resolution. It's they did remaster TNG, but these shows do help bring. There's some episodes don't age well, but that's bringing people back too. Is watching the old series, and like we're doing with Lower Decks, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Lower Decks. It's the only Star Trek that I'm really enjoying right now. That's catching my full attention, and that's bringing the same kind of younger crowd in too. And at the same time, they have the great little Easter eggs that play back to the TOSers and like the 70s Filmation series and TNG and all that. So there are different ways to do it. The Starfleet Academy series, I say yeah, sure, let them go for it, but. Why Paramount waited 30 years to finally say, okay, let's try it, when we've had all this other stuff that's been, not as good.
Right. Well, and that's the thing to me. It's like, go hire some real drama writers that, don't go totally. I mean, yeah, you want to keep your Star Trek writers there, but you need people who can write real drama series and understand,
and get into these characters, these young adults.
Right.
Because that's what Roddenberry always said. This is Star Trek is a people show.
Right. And make it.
If you get engaging stories, and they write
engaging characters.
Right.
Well-written characters helps.
Right. Exactly. When you got something that they can relate to in their frame in time, like a lot of these resonated. Yeah, some of us drew that frame in time, some of us a little bit later, but it still was engaging enough to bring everybody in. If you had to serve to that in a huge way, 90210, great premise. Dawson's Creek, another great premise. And so if you kind of go with this type of thought process, I would feel that you would get not only somebody who would come in for this show, but then the references will bring them right to the other shows and to the other.
Right, and I think I agree with you, Ivan, which is, we talk sometimes about the concept of the normies and getting the normies. Well, okay, to bring in new people, to bring in new butts to seats, to see this, Starfleet Academy, ironically, is the perfect vehicle to do something like that. Okay.
Right. And I agree with you. Yes.
Right. No, I agree. And that's the part where I've always laughed for the last 30 years is it's like, this is where you could bring in an entire new generation.
And if it's set on at Starfleet Academy in San Francisco, it has the possibility you can have low budget episodes. You don't need all these special effects all the time.
Right.
You can go low budget and just focus on the stories of these characters.
More personal dramas.
Exactly.
And all that other stuff.
Character builds.
Right. Just like how we have with Teen Titans, where they we can't have Superboy fly at all.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry. I mean, you don't have to worry about that as much. And the amusing part is, depending on where you set it, you can still bring in people for. The amusing part is, depending on where they set it in terms of time frames,
you can still have cameos.
You could have cameos. And, like, for example, okay, you can bring in Patrick Stewart to play Picard. Shoot, make him the
Make him the principal.
No, he's not the principal. Principal Picard. Oh God.
Yeah, but make him like the head of the Academy or something like that at this point.
Well, yeah, he could, or he could just have him be a guest speaker or something,
Or emeritus or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, you could do. You could do a lot with this kind of stuff, where it's like depending on the time frames that you're using. I mean,
exactly.
To me,
yeah, it seems like a logical choice, and I agree that this is the way to go. This is the way.
Here's the sad part. Here's the sad part. Here's the sad part. Either one or two things is going to happen. Either A, they're going to trash it again, or B, they're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, they'll B.
I think the sad part.
Got to go with B.
The worst part is, I already know how they're going to fuck it up with B, which is they're going to sit there and go, you can't do that. It's got to be Star Trek. That's like, oh, God. No, that's the last thing it needs to be right now. You need the Star Trek people to go, okay, here's how we add some pieces of Star Trek into this to make it feel like at least you're there. Okay? Yeah. Other than that, you don't need it to be, here's the million.
You don't need
I hear you, Jeff. I hear you.
Well, I know you do, but they don't, so it doesn't matter. And when they don't do it right, I'm going to take the Lego Thor hammer and I'm going to beat the snot out of them with it. Because apparently Lego is going to have a Thor's hammer available, although it's only, 18 inches? And it's $100.
Yeah, that's because Lego's expensive now. Like 1,000 bricks, that'll cost you $120.
I mean, fairness. Well, but I think keep in mind the entire thing's got to be made out of Lego.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you're building the entire thing.
Yeah, it's neat how there's not that many studs showing. They used plates to hide it all, so it looks good. I'm just not going to buy it, but it's cool. I saw an article about how vintage Lego sets are appreciating higher than gold right now.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. Like, I wish I had some of my old Lego sets from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
If I kept them in their original boxes, they'd have been.
Wow.
Because Lego is still it's the most popular toy on the planet. Truth.
Yep.
Facts.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, the Lego hammer, that's fine. I'm not.
Yeah, I thought Mike might be in on it. He's like, nope.
The thing is, I can't display Lego very many places. Lego takes a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I'd want to put it together. I'd rather just buy one that's together already.
Right. Just buy like the 1-to-1 scale, like they have like replicas or whatever. They did make one of like Iron Man's helmet and Cap's shield, and this one with I think they've made one of Stormbreaker, his new axe.
Maybe. You hear me?
We hear you.
Sorry.
That's all right.
We hear you. We hear you loud and clear.
We have another news before we can head out?
Yeah, so Disney Plus is apparently creating a Rocketeer movie. A new Rocketeer movie.
When did that original come out? Like 92?
90s.
91, 92?
91, 92, somewhere in there.
I remember seeing that in the theater. I was like,
I always felt like
somewhat unimpressed with it.
I liked it.
I liked it,
yeah.
for but me.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I mean, me being the person that loves all things, period piece, things, retro and deco and all stuff like that. Yeah, the aesthetic of the movie already drew me in, and the fact that I seen a number of Betty Page comics incorporating the Rocketeer, which I was very impressed with the artist.
So, would you watch a movie with Betty Page as the Rocketeer?
Yes, I would.
Might burn those stockings off, though.
Well, yeah, I think she would have to have a Rocketeer suit, but the thing is, yeah. But I also heard that I don't know if it was Paramount Plus, they pulled the plug on the Boondocks movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't remember who pulled the plug on Boondocks.
I remember someone watching some of those old episodes on Adult Swim.
I think it's HBO Max.
Yeah.
I think HBO Max is who pulled the plug on it.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I know a huge company pulled the plug on the reboot, I guess. I mean, the Boondocks in its original, that was real heavy-duty stuff.
Yeah, good timing to announce that during Black History Month, guys. Way to go.
That was smart.
Wait. Good timing.
Yeah, amongst a number of other things there,
Well, of all the times you could decide this is the time to announce that, someone should have looked at it and went, we could hold this a month.
Yeah, but somebody wasn't thinking.
Nope, not at all. Not in any shape or form.
No.
I guess what's his name? The guy who did ID4 and I don't know, Roland, whatever his name is. I guess his movie's out there. That thing about the moon.
Yeah, I saw that moon thing where the moon is hollow or some shit.
Right, whatever the hell that's
called.
Moonfall. All right.
Moonfall. Well, it fell all right. It only made like $10 million all weekend.
Yeah, it looked absolutely good. Yeah, I saw that 30-second trailer about 50 times at the AT&T store last week.
Well, I saw they had the trailer.
Maybe.
They had the trailer in the Spider-Man thing, and I was just like, maybe, but I'm like, I'm not braving. I mean, that's the new. Seriously, that's the new benchmark for me. Is like, am I willing to brave COVID to go watch this thing?
Yeah, I think. Speaking of which, the Batman movie tickets I think go on sale this week.
I think Moonfall also they showed it in the IMAX format too.
Makes sense because
I do know.
It looks like
they got trounced by the new Jackass movie. The new Jackass movie made like $23 million.
Wow.
Okay, and you know that they had a lot less budget.
Yeah.
No CG special effects in Jackass.
Right.
So yeah, I think the lesson in Moonfall here is I think the Enterprise.
Nobody cared.
The Enterprise is done. It's been done for a long time.
There's no Moonfall Enterprise. There's no franchise.
Yeah,
no one gives a crap.
Well, I mean, the other problem is it just didn't look cool enough for me to go, okay, I'm willing to. And P.S. Here's what's not helpful. You want people to come see your movie. Okay, I know it's the new in vogue thing to hammer on Star Wars and Marvel movies. But if you want people to come see your movie, and it's kind of in that vein, maybe not bagging on them the week before it's supposed to come out is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe that's a good idea. But the truth is, I kind of looked at it like, yeah, I'll see it when it's on demand or when I can watch it somewhere else. I don't know what studio that is.
I can surf for it in the $5 bin at my nearby Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that down the road. I mean, like, sure, okay. It could be a really good movie. I'm like, but I'm not going to a theater for it at the moment. Right. You know, that's the part that doesn't seem to get caught. Now, it's funny. This is a good segue to this because this is the final thing I've got.
Okay.
And it was funny. I saw it come over. I saw it come over from Variety, and I'm like, "Oh, we gotta talk about this." So I guess Steven Soderbergh is out doing press for his new thriller, something called Kimmy. And apparently,
Zuckerberg click.
No, it's not. No, it's Soderbergh, not Zuckerberg.
Soderbergh, not Zuckerberg. Soderbergh.
Soderbergh owns MySpace, Ivan.
Oh, okay.
No, Soderbergh does not own MySpace. Well, maybe
he's trying to make me believe.
Soderbergh, Zuckerberg, Whataburger.
They're trying to make me believe.
Wahlburgers.
So anyway, they start asking him questions. They ask the usual questions about superhero shit.
Yeah.
And the filmmaker says, it'd be almost impossible for him to work on a superhero space, since the characters are, wait for it, completely sexless.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm not a snob. It's not that I feel it's some lower tier in any way. It really becomes about what universe you want to occupy as a storyteller. I'm just too earthbound to really release myself to a universe in which Newtonian physics don't exist. I just have a lack of imagination in that regard, which is why the one foray I had into science fiction, 2022 Stellaris, was essentially a character drama that happened set on a spaceship. Here, I'm waiting. There's a reason I'm going to this. I'm trying to get to the good part because there really is a good quote here. Here's the quote. Nobody's fucking. Like, I don't know how to tell people how to behave in a world in which that's not a thing. The fantasy spectacle universe, as far as I can tell, typically doesn't involve a lot of fucking. And all these things, who's paying these people? Who do they work for? How does this become the job to be? The part that I laugh about is the line about nobody's fucking, and there's a part of me where I'm like,
you're not looking hard enough, so to speak.
They're fucking.
Okay, show me. Okay. But
not in the way that you would think.
Well, I mean, we see results. I mean, we see children.
Sure, but it's not like we're getting the closest we've gotten in the last 10 years. There's only one movie that I can think of. Well, maybe two. There's like two movies I can think of that are in the major superhero genre where they did any actual fucking. Deadpool.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
Oh yeah.
He's not wrong. Even like in the romanticized Suicide Squad of the original Suicide Squad, there's this whole romanticized thing about Harley Quinn and Joker. They don't fuck.
No.
No, they give you a lot of hints, but they leave it up.
Well, no, they just
right.
they hang out, they flirt, but I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You never see them like. You never see, but you never.
You never see them in the missionary position. You never see them. You never see them get down and dirty into the whole situation.
Have you ever seen them like hot and heavy, like kissing, like hardcore, like like tongue down throat? You know.
Well, that's changing. Yeah, the landscape is changing. I mean, we have shows like The Boys and Peacemaker and these more adult superhero shows. I don't know if any of that was happening in the Netflix Marvel shows, but
not really.
Yeah, it was just all about the violence
really.
then. But
no, not really. I mean,
you
didn't get much there either. I mean, the only reason I even brought this up is because the quote from Soderbergh about they're not fucking. I mean, how come nobody fucks in superhero movies? And I'm kind of like, he's kind of got a point.
Yeah.
He's kind of got a point. I mean, even like stop and think about it. Like even like the Batman movies. Okay.
All I keep thinking is that.
Michael Keaton. He and Kim Basinger, they knock boots. You know.
Yeah, but they don't really.
They don't show it, obviously, because it's a PG kids film. They want to sell action figures. They can't have a sex scene. But the landscape for superhero genre has changed, though. But Deadpool proved that.
No, not yet. Not in the movies. Other than Deadpool, I can't name another one.
And Deadpool was 2016. Yep. So that was 6 years ago.
Okay, but where's anybody else? Where's anybody else doing this on?
We haven't had any other R-rated. We have. Well,
only in the animation realm have they.
Yeah, Harley Quinn and Ivy, they've done it.
Okay, in the animation.
In the animated series,
right? Yeah. But even like
plus a number of superhero knockoffs, which
you said, The Boys. Okay, again, The Boys is Amazon and it's TV. I mean, it's a streaming show.
Not in the movies. You're right. Not in the movies.
It's a streaming show. Okay. Peacemaker. Okay. Peacemaker. Again.
It's streaming show. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I'm not seeing. I mean, now I'm sure there are, characters. I'm sure there are characters that I can point to that aren't the mainstream people that you could point this to. Like, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. See, here's the problem. Like, superheroes, Wanted isn't really a superhero movie. It's a comic book movie, but it's not a superhero movie. Because what's his name and Angelina Jolie get into it pretty good.
Sin City?
Yeah, that might be... Yeah, that's probably... And see, to me, the irony is that Soderbergh would probably do Sin City. But to me, that's not... Even then, that's not really superheroes.
No, it's based on a comic book story, but it's not a superhero film.
Right, those aren't supers. That's what I start to run into is it's like, okay, there's this. Well, yeah, but those aren't supers.
Well, okay, so then all we have is Deadpool then. So so you won't make a superhero film where they don't fuck. So okay.
Actually, I'd be welcome to see that. That'd be hysterical. I think there's something to be said that's. And I do laugh because I get what the problems are, which is okay,
Oh wait, when in Superman 3, when he turned evil, he did bang that blonde chick.
Oh God, we really going there?
Yeah, we're going there. You want to talk about superheroes fucking? Yeah, then that happened.
We all try. You do realize we all try to forget Superman 3, right?
It had some good parts. I remember as a kid. I remember the scene where Clark Kent fought evil Superman in the junkyard. I thought that was cool as a kid.
There you go.
I mean, that movie's like Richard Pryor in APS. Superman's in it.
No, you want to go Richard Pryor style type.
And the guy from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is the main villain.
David Cullum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you not seen this, Ivan?
Ivan never saw Superman 3.
It's bad.
It is bad. You're right.
Really
it is bad.
I mean, it's really bad.
Not as bad as Superman 4, but it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that
quest for peace.
Yeah, well.
We're really going to end the show on that, talking about Superman 4.
No. We were talking about superheroes and fucking. That's where we were going.
Well, I brought up Superman 3 because Superman got some when he was evil.
Well, then, of course, there's the animated sector where you got hookers who turn into superheroes and suck off superhero knockoffs.
But that's a series. It's not a movie.
Yeah, I mean, for example, it's like,
I think that was the only one that they had. I don't know if there was any more. I only saw that one.
I mean, for example, I'm thinking about it. It's like, okay. Oh, by the way, this will take you for full circle. So it's funny in the Pam and Tommy thing. They start talking about how Pam's about to start shooting barbed wire. But even in that movie, she don't. It's sexy, but she don't knock no boots.
No.
Not in that movie. And by the way, barbed wire, not a superhero.
How about Stripperella?
But that was animated, and that was TV.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It seems like the animated sector seems to be a little bit more brave about wanting to put the whole sexiness into the superhero realm than the people in the real world.
I'm just trying to think in terms of. The problem is I've never seen the Spawn movie, and I thank God for that every single day.
Oh, I saw the PG-13 version.
Right, that
Martin
one.
Sheen.
Right.
Oh, God. That was bad.
Right, the bad one. There was only one Spawn live-action movie, and
that was bad.
With John Leguizamo and
he was he wasn't bad as the clown actually.
They've been that's.
But it was bad though.
And that's the part that's crazy. The part that's crazy is, and the funny part is that movie is still in development for them to try to make a new live-action
reboot Spawn. Yeah.
And
good luck with that.
Well, McFarlane is totally handling the whole thing. It is taking fucking forever. It sounded like they were finally on the way, and then all of a sudden it was like.
I remember seeing the effects in for the Spawn movie, and I was like, yeah, it was just.
I'm
sure it's very dated now because the cape. He had his cape. Spawn has his cape that's kind of like almost like Doctor Strange's cape.
Budget.
It was bad though.
I mean, the part that I don't understand is I understand that they need to do a live action, but it's like, dude, it's been almost 30 years. No, actually, I take it back. It's probably over 30 years now since you did the HBO late night show.
Yeah, I remember the HBO Spawn series. Yeah.
Yeah, the HBO late night series.
Yeah, it was all right. I didn't hate it. It was okay.
Well, yeah, I can see how your reaction would be that. I mean, that was kind of, for its time, it was mind blowing in terms of what they were doing.
It was pretty cutting edge for its time.
Right, and it was after dark, and it did do some of the things we're talking about, and given what you've talked about Peacemaker, I can understand why your reaction is because it was pretty damn violent.
Yeah, it was.
Real violent.
Mm-hmm.
Makes Peacemaker look very, very like not violent at all. And so, but to me, I kind of laugh because it's like, how about developing an animated? How about developing an animated film? I mean, especially after.
Well, he's probably thinking, been there, done that. Wants to do something. He wants to compete with the MCU.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to compete with the MCU.
Not with a character like Spawn, who's like just a '90s cult figure.
Classic,
I mean, it's still a really popular character. It's just you.
Yeah, but he's been out of circulation for so long.
No, he's not.
Well, I don't mean like circulation as far as like, stories and da. But from the last time they presented him in a live form and everything, how do you?
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
From that.
Right. Well, that's why I laugh about. There's been nothing in terms of animation other than the HBO late night animated.
Yeah, which we all watched and had.
Right. But again, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, at some point, why didn't you do more? I mean, it's like, we really did a great job with what it was. Okay, great, fine. You want, I mean, especially in the state of content, I mean, I can't imagine one of these streamers would not pay handsomely for a new animated Spawn, either movie or series or something like that in any way, shape, or form.
Right, a Spawn reboot would be, I believe, a very welcome thing.
It doesn't even have to be a reboot. It's just, okay, we haven't done a series in ages. We're going to do one.
And I totally get what you're saying. And do you think, in your opinion, in your gentleman's opinion, do you think that Spawn would have that kind of relevance in this day and age as it had once upon a time 30 plus years ago?
No.
If it was good.
Huh?
If it's good.
Okay, and good as in what? Good as in timely?
Thing is, can he find a studio that'll throw $50 million at it to make it look good?
Yes, I think you would. I think it's doable. I think in this day and age of streamers who are absolutely dying for content, and given who the audience would be for the most part for this particular show, for an animated,
right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then here's another point to consider. Okay, that let's say that this new series or the new movie is a huge success. Do you think that on the singular charm of a brand new release, do you think it would throw enough light on the previous franchise as far as like the animated late night animated cartoons, or maybe the original Spawn movie? I don't know. Maybe it'll give it a second look.
Well, let's put this in perspective.
Okay.
The only reason why we haven't had a Spawn movie is because some of it's the technology had to catch up. Some of it's McFarlane, after the first one, got real picky. I can't blame him.
Right.
And McFarlane...
It's his baby.
Right, it's his baby. and he sees the same thing as everybody else, which is, I got one shot to get this right after this other stupid one. Okay? So I'm not going to screw it up. Okay? But if tomorrow he wanted to go, hey, you know what? Spawn's available for you guys to create whatever the heck you want, and I will take your check. Yeah, that happened tomorrow. Somebody would pay him. Somebody would pay him right now.
I'm sure they would.
I mean, just to give perspective, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head what Kirkman got. Kirkman got huge money from Amazon. Okay? And they didn't even get The Walking Dead.
And did they get like several million for that?
Not million.
Really?
I mean, it's not even several. It's like double digits.
Wow.
I mean, like, Kirkman got huge money.
Okay.
Kirkman got, I mean, I can't remember what the numbers are on Kirkman's deal, but it's insane. I mean, it's big money.
Well, it's Amazon money. Of course it's big money.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, and in fairness, the first thing he developed was his other property that did well in the comics, which was Invincible. And he did it he didn't do it as live action, he did it as a cartoon. Right. And it's already been picked up for season 2. I think it's picked up for season 3.
Wow.
And we haven't even gotten that far. It was really solid. Again, another show, ironically, that Mike probably shouldn't watch.
I watch clips on YouTube, and it's ultra violent.
It's ultra violent.
People's heads getting exploded and people's brains and eyeballs going everywhere. Oh yeah, not in my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, to me it's like cartoon.
Maybe it's just because I was traumatized by Heavy Metal, the movie.
You were traumatized by Heavy Metal, the movie?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Really?
I was a young kid when HBO was new and just come to the house, and I think this is a good thing for me to close on. Is that it's like, yeah, Heavy Metal, oh, cool, cartoon, looks awesome. And then the first scene, the guy lands in the spaceship, and he opens the box, and it melts her dad in front of her. Mm-hmm. That traumatized me. And I was like, I couldn't finish the movie. I was so scared.
Oh, dude.
And this was like 9, 10 years old. I think it was.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't handle violence very well.
We need to work
even if it's horror, even if it's comedy, even like if it's Bruce Campbell stupid shit, I still don't like it.
See, the amusing part is you were 9 or 10 apparently when you saw Heavy Metal. Huh? Versus if you had just gotten past that section and you were a little bit older.
Well, it would have been I think it was like maybe 10, maybe closer to 11. Heavy Metal was like 81, wasn't it?
Something like that, but I didn't see it in 81. I saw it like in the mid-80s.
I saw it in 82. I was 11 years old in 82. So that would have been when it was on cable.
Right. Well, no, it was on, okay. So it was on cable.
Yeah, it freaked me out. So I'm like, that's,
time.
I think that was like, But that's why I don't know. That's part of the reason probably why I don't care for gratuitous violence.
If you were like, I remember the first time like when I was like 12 or 13, and I'm watching Heavy Metal. And it's like, yeah, there's that scene. The real scene where I was like,
it's all the boobs.
It's boobs.
Major boobage. That was the South Park. You're allowed to touch my daughter's awesome boobage.
And it's like, damn. It's like, okay, I'm here. I'm good.
Yep. Boobs. It's all about the boobs in Heavy Metal.
It's all about the boobs.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's like, you just needed to get past that beginning part, and then you'd have been like.
And then there's other scene. I think a dude got impaled with arrows or something. Like the bad guys stormed a castle or something, and one guy shot up with arrows or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Let's see. Well,
so, got anything else, Jeff? Or I think that'll close it up. We're running along tonight.
I think
that's it for me.
I think that's like I said, I just figured we'd bring up the thing about sort of. As soon as I thought, I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like literally like, That the quote on the
That's your
article
excuse for why you hate superhero films?
No, he doesn't say he hates them. It's not why he won't. He doesn't think he can do them.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that he hated them because he made that clear. It's like, and it's funny because it'll come out as he hates them, and it's like the irony is that's not what he says in it at all.
Right. You got to read the article.
The quote is really that was quote nobody's fucking. I don't know how to tell
a story where people don't have sex drives.
In a world where they don't have that's not a thing.
Right. All right. So Ivan, where are you spending this weekend?
Well, let's see. This weekend, I think I have a free weekend free week this week, pretty much. Be back in Logan Arcade on the 20th from 3 to 8. Let me see, and then let's see. Other than just doing something nice with Julie for Valentine's Day, and
you'll be recording with us on Valentine's Day.
I'll be recording with you guys on Valentine's Day, so but I'll have the whole weekend before that, and then and then do a little something nice and enjoy you guys on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And then other than that, that's pretty much it. Just kind of an easygoing week this one.
Jeff, any Clubhouse events you want to just bring up this week?
I think by the time this gets on, I'll have done my Wednesday night room on business and personal growth issues here on Clubhouse. That happens on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. That I'm pretty much always here for that. Ironically, I'm out speaking this week a couple places.
Oh.
Again, one of them is by the time this airs, it'll be too late. But Saturday morning, I'm doing a 20-minute presentation virtually on the importance on how becoming a better evaluator can make you a better speaker, and that'll happen at about 8:30 in the morning Central Time. And I can, obviously, if you're interested, shoot me a note or go to my Instagram. You'll find it there. I know where to end this now. That you guys will get a good laugh. What percentage do you put on Monday that we'll be talking about people being indignant about the Super Bowl halftime performance? On a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being there will be 100%. 100% of the people will be upset, to 1 being only 1% of the people will be upset.
I'd say they would probably give this based on who we got performing for Super Bowl. I'd say about 30% would not be happy.
Okay, Ivan.
I would say 45%.
45 on disapprove.
I'm going to go higher than you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to say about 60.
Okay.
I'm going to say about 60, and because while Mike sits there and talks about gratuitous violence, in this country, there are a lot of people who have no problems with gratuitous violence, but God forbid you either drop an F-bomb or you're naked in any way, shape, or form, and this country goes nuts. So,
okay.
Because think of the children,
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. I'll put it at 60.
Who you got for the game? Either the Rams or the Bengals?
Boy, I don't know.
I'm going to the Bengals.
I think I'm going to put my money on the Bengals.
You know what? I don't have a dog in this fight enough to sit there and go, okay, I definitely one way or the other.
And if you did, just what's the first one that comes out of your head right now?
Rams.
Okay. We'll see who.
Yeah.
Rams, just because quite simply they're the better overall team.
Okay, fair enough.
I will not be shocked if Cincinnati wins.
What? Who knows? Hey.
Like I said, here's what I really hope. I really hope it's a good game.
Let's hope it's not a shutout. That's what really.
Or one of these games where it's like, by the third quarter, you know that this thing's over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I'm rooting for. Is that and good commercials, which I don't know if we're going to get those.
I don't think anybody's going to budget out for big commercials this year.
Yeah, well, the internet has changed how Super Bowl commercials are, so it's too bad.
Yeah, true.
Like I said,
get the extended version of this commercial on soandso.com.
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, really, to me, I kind of laugh. It's like, you know, it's nice that they're going to have a Super Bowl game around the Snoop Dogg and Eminem and Dr. Dre concert.
Which, you know, a lot of people are already having their say for and against that.
Well, we'll find out next week how many people disapprove. So.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm curious to see how this goes. Because like I said, there's already a part of this country where, you know, those guys were already you know, I'm waiting for, here, ready one here, and then I'll let Mike go ahead and do his thing. I'm waiting for the people who go, well, now that we've had this, can we now have a country day? Can we now have country singers on the Super Bowl like this? It's like, really? Is that really where we're going here?
No, I want Weird Al.
Well, yeah, that'd be
epic.
That'd be great.
Pie in the sky epic. But man can dream. If I can dream.
If I can dream.
It's not, you know what, Mike? I gotta be honest with you. It may not be as far-fetched as you think. We all have to root that whatever this biopic that's coming out about him.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, yeah.
Is it Daniel Radcliffe? If this thing rocks and it's popular,
yeah.
If it's popular, yeah, Weird Al gets a shot. Weird Al may have a shot to actually do the Super Bowl.
I hope so. I truly hope so. Okay.
Where can they find us?
Where can't they find us? We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe, when I get new content. Download the show on usual podcast hosting apps. Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor.fm/SOTRT. We're on Facebook. That's where we have these articles and memes and stuff we talk about. And, of course, a little side thing of Jive and Ivan's Vibe Tribe. Having fun over there. If you want to check it out, give us a join. Join in on the naughtiness. Email us at SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com. Ivan is on Twitch.tv at Java and Ivan. Jeff is everywhere at Dynamite Productions. Email us at SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com. And thank you to everybody who stopped in to say hello on Clubhouse.
Oh, yes, thanks, everybody. And we'll catch up with you next week for the love-filled and the love-lorn and the love-scorned. And then, of course, we all know what that is, folks. They call it Valentine's Day. Yet, of course, other people call it Hallmark.
No, they don't.